Yeah, this is case number 315 on the calendar in the matter of Greenfield versus Chamberlain. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Did you ever key anybody's car?
No, not that I can remember. I was just kidding. No, never.
Why wouldn't you key somebody's car?
It's against the law. It's not a nice thing to do.
You wouldn't like somebody to do it to you.
Heck no.
All those things.
That's right.
More people here who key cars. According to your complaint, Miss Greenfield, Miss Chamberlain is the ex-girlfriend of your current boyfriend.
That is correct.
They have a child together.
Yes.
And you claim she keyed your car.
Yes.
And Miss Chamberlain said, absolutely not. She did not do anything of the sort. So when do you claim she keyed your car?
1:15 in the morning on June 11th.
Where were you?
I was at my house.
Where was your car?
In my driveway.
Where does Miss Chamberlain live in relation to where you live?
Just around the corner.
What makes you believe that Miss Chamberlain damaged your car?
I saw her do it. She left me a voicemail about 11:40 in the evening. She also left a note on my car.
I'd like to see the note that she left on your car. And I'd like to hear the voicemail as well. Did you leave a voicemail on her machine?
Not that I recall. No, ma'am.
Try. Did you leave a voicemail on her machine?
No.
Okay. Is this your handwriting?
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Where did you leave that note?
I did not recall leaving that on her car that day, but I do recall going over there, knocking on the door. She was very rude to me and shut the door.
Listen to me. I just asked where you left this note.
Well, if she says I left it on her car, then that's, I imagine
When
that's
did
where
you
she found
find it on your car?
As soon as I walked out there.
You mean
When
on
I saw her
the
at my
11th
car.
of June?
That is
on the
correct.
11th of June. I'd like to hear the voicemail.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me what you observed on the 11th of June.
Well, the 10th of June, which was later that evening, about 10:50, I got a hang-up phone call. 20 minutes later, 11:15, 11:20, Janelle shows up at my door asking for my boyfriend, which he was still at work. And I said, no, he's not home. And it causes conflict when her and I speak and to come back when he is home. And I shut the door. And 11:40, she leaves the voicemail message on my cell phone. And 1:15 in the morning, I see her put an egg on my car and key it.
I object to that. She did not see me there.
You'll have an opportunity to tell me. When you saw her key your car, did you go downstairs?
Yes.
When you got downstairs, was she there or was she gone?
She was running down the driveway in front of the house, running south.
Did you say anything?
Yes.
What did you say?
I told her to stay the hell away from my car.
Did she answer you?
No, she kept running.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Can I see the police report, please? Police report the next day?
No, it was on the 11th of
On
June.
the 11th, that day. Okay, now I'll hear you. June 11th. Go ahead.
It was actually the 10th. That night I left for the grocery store. I cashed WIC vouchers.
What time?
I'm not sure. Whatever the police report says was on the receipt. It was late in the evening. I went to go get my baby some formula. I came back home. The police knocked on the door. I showed them my receipt. I was at the grocery store at the same time that she was accusing me of this.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Well, it takes time to get to and from.
Let's be clear. You were not at the grocery store at the same time that she alleged she saw you in front of the house.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But I did go to the grocery store that evening, return home, show him my receipt.
Who else do you live with?
My husband, Daniel Chamberlain. He was there.
Is there any reason why you go to the grocery store at 1:45 in the morning?
Ma'am, my husband works third shift, and he goes to college half of the day, so we have very irregular hours.
Was there any reason you went to the grocery store at 1:45 in the morning?
To get formula for my baby.
Why didn't he go?
It wasn't necessary. He needed to stay at home with the children.
How many children do you have?
I have 4.
Go ahead.
That's what I did. I went to the grocery store that night.
Well, at what point did you call her on the telephone and leave that message?
It's very emotional.
At what time did you call her that evening and leave that message?
That's been months ago, Your Honor.
Well, certainly it's been months ago. At what point did you call her and leave that message on her answering machine?
The only time I remember having any confrontation with her was earlier in the day.
I'm not asking you about confrontation, madam. You didn't speak to her when you called. I'm asking you at what time in the evening did you call and leave that message on her answering machine?
I cannot be sure.
So you don't remember when you made the phone call, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
You do, however, remember putting this note on the car, because that's what you told the police officer.
I don't recall putting that note on her car.
Well, that's what you told the policeman who interviewed you.
That is my handwriting.
You told the policeman that you put this note on her car.
That was directly after the incident, so if that's what I told him, yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What the police officer found is that the bags that you showed them to explain that you were in the store, that despite the fact that it was raining very, very hard that evening, the bags were miraculously dry.
And later today,
I heard some commotion upstairs.
We heard some screaming outside.
My wife was screaming hysterically and my son, and I called up. I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "Pit bull attack."
Greenfield says her boyfriend's ex, Janelle Chamberlain, keyed her car in the middle of the night. Janelle says it wasn't her.
Okay, can I see your estimate to fix the damage on your car, please?
Just because I left a note on her car does not mean that I keyed it.
You have photographs of the car?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. Where on the car was the note?
On the driver's side windshield.
It was raining that night.
I know. I retrieved it as soon as she left it there.
So you went out immediately?
Yes.
Right. Because clearly the police who observed the note, this is just a copy
No,
of it.
because
The
that
police
note was left earlier in the day, not that night when it was raining.
I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Police officer observed the note. The police officer described its condition. It was, in fact, wet. And what the police officer found is that the bags that you showed them to explain that you were in the store immediately prior, so that they took the bags and looked at them, noticed that despite the fact that it was raining very, very hard that evening, the bags that you got from the store were miraculously dry, according to the police report. There are other ways to dealing with problems.
I didn't key her car.
I believe you did.
Well,
That's
you're right.
my judgment.
You have the right to believe
Absolutely right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I believe that she's totally wrong.
Judge Judy's a good judge of character.
This woman's trying to deface me.
We've had problems from the beginning.
I believe this will be a continuing matter.
She's got issues.
and now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brady Taylor versus Henderson. Step forward.
Neil Brady Jr. and his girlfriend, Kiana Taylor, are suing their neighbor, dog rescuer Shauna Henderson, for damages from a dog attack. The couple says Shauna's pit bulls killed their Cocker Spaniel.
Who is Brady?
I am.
Mr. Brady, Ms. Taylor, it is your claim that the defendant's dogs, and she has pit bulls,
Correct.
got loose and attacked your dog, which was on your property.
Yeah.
Your dog was a pregnant Cocker Spaniel,
Springer Spaniel.
Springer Spaniel, and the dog was killed.
All right.
You want Ms. Henderson to compensate you for your vet bills,
Correct.
for the value of your dog, and for a certain amount of pain and suffering.
All right. Lots of companionship.
And Ms. Henderson, if I'm reading between the lines, says that while it's true that her child accidentally let the dog out,
Yes.
there is no proof that it was her dogs that killed your dog, and that the amount that you are requesting from her seemed to change periodically. I'm not really sure of what your defense is.
Okay.
But I have a couple of questions for you. You read the newspaper?
No.
Ever?
Probably twice the past year.
Well, first of all, that would be a big problem. You have children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
How old are they?
They're 2 and 3.5.
Who takes care of them while you're away?
Their father, my husband.
You live together?
Yes.
Who works?
We both do.
When you're working, Who takes care of the children?
We don't work at the same time.
How many pit bulls do you have?
They're actually not pit bulls.
What are they?
They're American Bulldog mixes. This is their license paper showing that they're
You have
not.
pictures of them?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Are they pit bull mix?
They're mixes. They're American Bulldog mixes, Your Honor.
Well, they both have a lot of pit bull in them.
They're mixes.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
All right. So, if you read the newspaper, the reason I'm asking you this question is, I would have said to you, you appear to be an intelligent woman. I'm not certain that you're an intelligent woman. But just yesterday, a woman who had a dog, pit bull, that she raised from a puppy, for no reason, turned on her. For no reason. And chewed off half of her face. Now, that's not the first time that that's happened with this breed of dog, and I'm not condemning this breed of dog. I don't know. I've never owned this breed of dog. I'm just talking to you from a layperson's perspective. So if I were the mother of 2 children, and you know that certain breeds of dog, very large ones, especially ones with the jaw configuration of a pit bull, because once a pit bull grabs hold, because of the way their jaw is configured, I gather, and I've had a lot of pit bull cases, once they grab hold, you can't get them unhooked. Very hard to get them unhooked.
Right.
So they cause more damage than your standard fair dog if they turn on you. That be a fair statement, Miss Henderson?
Sure.
I wouldn't know why the mother of 2 babies would keep a dog that had that potential if they decided to turn. If a 2-year-old, for some reason, took a stick and poked the dog with the stick so that the dog turned on them, which a 2-year-old can do. Listen, I have little tiny dogs, and I have grandchildren. And I watch those dogs around those grandchildren because the grandchildren can go over, not in, poke them in the eye, you pull the fur. And that's the way a dog responds. Dog turns around and gives a nip. Well, there's a difference in a little dog giving your kid a nip and a dog that grabs onto your face and rips it apart.
Neil Brady Jr. and his girlfriend Kiana Taylor claim neighbor Shauna Henderson owes for the death of their Cocker Spaniel. The couple says the animal was killed by Shauna's pit bulls.
Tell me what happened with your dog.
One evening we were in the house and we heard some screaming outside. I wasn't quite sure what it was until a neighbor knocked on the door and let me know my dog was attacked.
Were you the neighbor?
Yes.
Could you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Michael Palmieri.
Mr. Palmieri, you are a neighbor of the Brady Taylor family?
Yes, I am.
Tell me what you saw on what date.
I don't remember the exact date,
You
Your
remember
Honor.
the date?
It was
September 6th.
September 6th?
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I heard some commotion upstairs. My wife was screaming hysterically and my son, and I called up. I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "Pit bull attack." And I just ran out of the door. I had only my boxers on. I had nothing else on. I have a small child. Other neighbors have small children. So I didn't know what was going on. I ran out. I saw this one dog with this clamp down on their Cocker Spaniel. I ran over, and I was just hysteric and going crazy, and I went to attack the dog. And the dog sensed that, and he let go. And there was 2 of them. One of them had him in his mouth, and the other was very close by. And then there was a third one, a little one.
The third one that's a little one, was it the same breed?
You know, I couldn't tell. I don't think so.
Okay. I would like you to describe the 2 dogs.
Well, the one dog that had the dog in the mouth, there was something very specific about that dog. It had its name written on it, Rex. I don't know if it was spray painted. I don't know if it was dyed.
Where was it written?
Right on its side.
Is that your dog?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, there we go. That
So-
just took care of that.
Yeah.
So after that, I got the dogs off, and I didn't know because I was trying to capture them. I didn't want the dogs to get away because this same situation happened with me about a year ago where I was taking care of a pit bull for a friend while he was away, and that dog got away and attacked a gentleman's small dog and killed it, and I got sued. And I have small children. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And immediately after that, I said, "You got to come get this dog because I can't have this situation." They are very, very unpredictable. And my daughter loved this dog. So, I understand this is a serious matter. And I like pit bulls. Personally, I don't know, I think they're interesting dogs, but I don't want them around me, and I don't think they're safe dogs. We tried to capture a dog, and as a matter of fact, her brother trapped one of the dogs, and animal control came and got the dog, and they tracked down, I guess they followed it. Neil followed the other dogs, and they found out where the lady lived.
It's her dog. There are very few dogs that look like a pit bull that have their name, Rex, tattooed on their side. She acknowledges that's her dog. So what's the problem, Miss Henderson?
The problem was that these dogs, I do foster placement, these dogs were rescued. So they've been through 3 temperament testings. They've been around 5-pound chihuahuas all the way up to 100-pound dogs. So not only have they, like you're disclosing about the personality of a pit bull, which I'm not discrediting.
Miss Henderson, rescue dogs usually need to be rescued because they've been abandoned by their owner. Sometimes the owner is not a nice person. Sometimes the owner says, I can't handle this dog. Sometimes rescue dogs have been abused. That would make them even more unpredictable.
Not true.
I want you to just, listen, they're your children. You got a husband, you're supposed to take care of your children, you're supposed to protect them. I've said what I had to say. 10 million people have heard me say it to you. If, God forbid, something happens to one of your children, do you know how awful you're going to feel?
I don't live alone with the dog.
I'm just telling you, if, God forbid, something terrible happens to one of your children, you've been now warned, laid out in front of 10 million people. Do you know that you will never in your life recover? Not only won't your children recover, but you will never in your life recover. You've been put on notice by somebody who is not unintelligent that you're doing, as a mother, the wrong thing. As an animal activist, you may be doing the right thing, rescuing dogs, rescuing pit bull mixes that have been abandoned by their owner and have been through teams of 6 dog analysts. I'm telling you, as a mother, you're exposing your children to unnecessary risk and yourself to a lifetime of misery, because if, God forbid, one of these dogs turns on you, like it did turn on this lady in California yesterday, and eats off their face, you will never recover.
So should all those dogs be put to sleep then?
Listen to me. I'm not talking about all those dogs. I'm talking about you.
I understand.
I'm talking about you, who has a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm talking about somebody who's supposed to not only look good, madam, but be marginally intelligent before you have children. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. Nothing that I say is going to get through, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may stay.
Progressively, our relationship just got worse.
She lost her son, but kept the child support.
He told me to spend every single dime of child support.
You do not deny the fact that he overpaid.
I knew that it was an overpayment.
No, if you knew it was an overpayment, you did the wrong thing.
Judge Judy.
You should have sent it back as soon as you got it. That's what you should have done.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge Judy. Brian McClure and his son, 16-year-old Camden, are suing Camden's mother, Gay McClure, for the return of child support, the cost of car parts, and for stealing money from a savings account.
Yes, case number 292 on the calendar in the matter of McClure versus McClure. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Why don't you sit down, young man? Mr. McClure, this is your former wife,
Yes, Your Honor.
and this is your son
Yes, Your Honor.
that you had together.
Correct.
You have one child together?
Yes, only one.
And how long are you divorced, Mr. McClure?
Approximately a year and a half.
When you were divorced, where did your son live?
Initially lived with my wife.
For how long?
Approximately 2 years.
Okay, and then came to live with you.
Yes, as of the end of July of this year.
Both you and your son are plaintiffs in this case. I'm going to hear from you first, and then your son and I are going to have a discussion. Your son came to you in July. You were under a court order for support. The support order was for how much a month?
$677 a month.
Your suit claims that that money was taken out of your salary for the month that your son was with you, and so therefore you've overpaid child support.
Correct, until we could get the paperwork in on the modified divorce order.
Mrs. McClure, you do not deny the fact that he overpaid the $677 for that month.
No, ma'am.
So what's the issue? Why don't you return it?
He had continually told me that I was to spend every single dime of child support on Camden.
That's not true.
And
Shh. She's giving me her reason.
I just did. I knew that it was an overpayment.
Well, if you knew it was an overpayment, you did the wrong thing.
But
And if you did the wrong thing, you have to pay him.
I
You're not
also
supposed-
tried to pay him back.
No, according to you, try to pay him back $10 a week or $20 a week. And that's unacceptable, because it would be unacceptable, Ms. McClure, if you were the recipient of child support in the amount of $600 and change a month, and he decided he's not going to pay you the $600 a month. He's going to give it to you in dribs and drabs of $20 a month, and he'll catch up when he wants to catch up. That would be unacceptable to you. It's unacceptable to him, because he had the responsibility of supporting the child during that month, and you have the responsibility of paying him back the money. You should have sent it back as soon as you got it. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
So your claim is for $677?
$624 and change.
$624. Just saved yourself $50, Mrs. McClure. That's what you're entitled to, and that's what you're going to get. Understood?
Yes.
Now you can stand up. What's your first name?
Camden.
Why did you go and live with your father, Camden?
The living experience with my mother wasn't a very likely.
How old are you?
16.
So you lived with your mother for 16 years. You mean all of a sudden it became an unpleasant experience?
Yes.
In what regard, sir?
I wanted to spend more time with my father, so I was wanting to go live with him.
That's perfectly acceptable.
Then when I informed her of it, progressively our relationship just got worse.
Well, that's unfortunate. But your desire to go to live with your father, according to you, was just because you wanted to spend more time with your father. Is that right?
Yes.
You have a problem with that, Mrs. McClure?
Only for the fact that several months before that, we had discussed him going to live with Brian, and he said that he did not want to under any circumstances, and he actually wanted me to promise to him that if Brian sued for custody, that I would not go along with it, I would go to court.
Changed his mind. Listen to me. Let's say that happened. He changed his mind. And that's what kids do when they're 16 years old. So when they're 16 years old, what you're supposed to do is say, listen, you want to go live with your father? Free. I'm free. Right? I don't have to worry about where he is. I don't have to worry about him coming home. I don't have to clean up after his mess in the bathroom. You don't have to fight with him over cutting his hair. You don't have to do anything. He's with his father. It's his father's grief. I mean, I understand this. I was in family court for a lot of years. You get hurt. You get a little wounded. It's a natural phenomenon that you get a little wounded. But, you know, what I'm telling you is, for the first time in your life as an adult, you're going to be free. If nothing else, I'm going to make you feel good about that, because it's not anything that reflects on your parenting. He had a wind that went through his brain. Today, I want to go live with my father. We can pal around together. We're going to be buddies. I want to bond with him a little bit. Terrific. You have other children, sir?
I live with my current wife, and we do have a 5-year-old daughter together.
Great! Now you got 2 kids to worry about.
Yes.
You are the man. Good
Oh,
for
it's
you.
fun.
Oh, definitely. Good for you. Okay, now Camden.
Yes.
This is why your father has included you in this lawsuit, because you're a minor. Now, you had use of a car when you were living with your mother. The car was her car, because it was in the judgment of divorce, according to what I read, she got that car. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your
Good.
Honor.
And according to your mother, she put in a lot of money in the car to make it drivable, and you drove that car. And according to you, you put in some money also. You put in, I don't know, rims and the things that kids put in cars, right?
Actually, I made it runnable.
Mr. McClure, I don't want to hear you encouraging him at all. Do we
Okay.
understand each other?
Yes, Your Honor.
This isn't supposed to be a bad thing for him. This is supposed to be a good thing for him.
Yes, it is.
That he's come to live with you. He's got a mother. She loves him. He's supposed to love her, not be angry with her. I'm a little angry with you for including him in this lawsuit, for even permitting it to go forward without saying to him, Camden, you're wrong. This is your mom's car. I got a car when we got a divorce. She got a car when we got a divorce. This is her car. It's not your car. That's what you should have done.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
The car was purchased approximately when Camden was 12 years old, and everybody in the family was under the understanding...
I don't care what the understanding was. You were living with your wife at the time?
Correct.
All right. Listen to me very carefully, sir. Now you're divorced, and in the judgment of divorce, she got the car. Did you take a car?
I took a vehicle, yes, and she
Good.
received this vehicle.
And if she got one car and you got another car, then what you do is you want your son to have a car, give him your car if he comes to live with you.
He
Don't
does.
say to him, that was your car. Everybody understood it was going to be your car when you turned 16.
That's
How
correct,
many
Your
cars
Honor.
did you give her? 2 cars or 1?
2?
2.
Yes.
From you?
Yes.
Tell me.
87 Buick Riviera and the 86 Pontiac Trans Am.
And what did you get?
An 86 Trans Am and my 93 Chevy pickup.
So you did a little bit better
I,
by about 5-6 years.
yeah, the only vehicle that I had payments on was the pickup.
Listen to me. You did a little better.
Yes, I did fine.
So now you have 2 cars, and she has 2 cars. And if your son comes to live with you, give him one of your cars.
He currently has his own vehicle, Your Honor.
Perfect. Then why are we here, Camden?
Because some of the parts that I put on that car to make it runnable, so I worked for those and installed them.
And you used the car.
Yes.
Did you pay for the car?
No.
Did you pay to have the repairs done on the car other than the few parts that you put in?
All the repairs that were done were by myself.
You put in all the repairs since you're 12 years old?
Me and my father, then.
I'm talking about you. It's not your car, it's your mother's car. She let you drive it. You don't belong here suing her. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are the custodian for his money, and you can't take it out.
I didn't necessarily spend it. Camden did.
And later today,
The cop pulled me over. I had a 12-pack, but there was only 6 of them left.
Was inside your belly, inside your little tummy? 6-pack?
Yes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Camden McClure says his mother, Gay McClure, owes for the value of car parts and for closing his savings account.
Now, let's talk about this bank account that you claim your mother closed out and took your money. How much money was in this bank account?
$528.
And where did you get it from?
Working for my grandfather, yard sales, things like that.
When was the account closed?
August 25th in 2003.
Did you put any money into that account allegedly after August of 2003?
No.
Well, you were still living with your mother then?
Yes.
Tell me what happened with that account in 2003.
I do not know. She said that she closed the account.
You closed the account in August 2003. Why?
Because we lived way out of town. And when he needed money for, the church group or whatever activity that he wanted to go, if he didn't happen to tell me the day before, I didn't have the money on hand. So he either didn't get to go or, I'd have to go all the way back into town to take the money out of the bank.
Why didn't you pay for it?
I did on a lot of things.
You should have paid for it on everything. Do you work?
No.
Well, how do you support yourself?
I was on public assistance.
Did you know that your mother was receiving public assistance?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there things that you needed that you didn't have money for?
A few things, nothing too important.
Like what?
Just daily necessities. Sometimes it was hard.
So is it possible that this money got used up?
Possibly.
Did you know that your mother was going to the bank to take this money out in small amounts when you needed the money? Did she say, well, go to your bank account and take out the money?
No, I didn't.
You
Yes,
sure
he
about
did.
that?
Yes, he did. And it was even under his suggestion, Mom, why don't you just close the account, have the money here at the house, so you don't have to worry about running all the way back into town and running back when he would want money for
Did that
something.
sound familiar to you, Camden?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Camden says that he worked.
Yes.
And he put his money into that bank account.
Yes, he did. I also put money in there that he did not, per se, work for, but yes.
She didn't put any money that I didn't work for in there.
Can I see the transactions from the savings account, please?
Go back over there.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. This money was originally opened with $300. The only money that was put in was $227 after your mother put it in. So, Camden, my question to you is it possible, sir, that that's the extent of the money that you put in this account? $227?
That bank was open here in Boise, and most of the money I made was when we still lived in Twin Falls. So that's why there's a $300 deposit.
Well, that's the beginning balance.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss McClure, let me tell you this. There's no question that this car is your car. I'm dismissing that part of your son's lawsuit that deals with that car. I do, however, think that he has a legitimate complaint with regard to the savings account that was in his name where he put his money. This is his money. You are the custodian for his money, and you can't take it out and spend it unless you're prepared to show me exactly what you spent it on.
I didn't necessarily spend it. Camden did.
All right. On your lawsuit, sir, I am awarding you the $528.85 for the money that's in the account. I hope that that satisfies you. I want you to be a smart boy.
Thank you.
Just because you decided to live with your father doesn't mean that you don't have a mother anymore. I've already explained to her that she should be the second happiest person in this room today because she has a little bit of freedom, and she should use that to get herself together, to get a job, to start taking care of herself, which she clearly hasn't done in a very long time. That's her responsibility. She doesn't have any children at home. She doesn't have any reason why she can't get a job and work.
I have one.
Well, it's been a long time
Yes.
coming. It is time now for you to take care of yourself and nobody else to take care of you. You owe your former husband $624 and your son $528. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I love him very much. I always will, no matter what he says or does. That's just the way it is.
I just thought, you know, fair is fair. You know, you should at least try to straighten things out.
And as far as Camden and I are concerned, that's only up to Camden.
I'm not sure. That's for time to be told.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Thomas McMillan versus Chris Lee. Step forward, please.
Tricia Thomas and her fiancé Wesley McMillan are suing former friend Billy Chrisley for causing them to be ticketed for the possession of marijuana.
According to what I read, you were traveling in 2 cars, leaving Texas on your way to Arkansas because of Hurricane Rita.
Yes, ma'am.
You were traveling behind Miss Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
In the car that you were traveling in was Mr. McMillan, one of Miss Thomas's children.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Thomas was traveling in front of you, and in your car was another one of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Grisley, you were pulled over by the police
Yes, ma'am.
for tailgating.
Yes, ma'am.
What did the policeman say to you?
Well, he pulled me over for tailgating. That's what he told me he pulled me over for.
In what state were you when you
In
got
Oklahoma.
pulled? Oklahoma.
We were on our way back.
Go ahead.
So he pulled us over. He asked me for my license, registration, and all that for the car. And I told him I didn't have my license, and I just got the car, so I didn't have no insurance, no registration, no nothing on it, because I just got it.
Well, what about your license?
It was expired, and I still had to leave to go to Arkansas, and I just drove back, you know.
Could we move on, please? What else did the police officer say to you?
So he ran my record and everything else. Then he asked me if I had anything, and I told him yes. And so he went back to my...
Well, you said yes, and he said, what?
No, we just went back to my car. I gave him what I had.
Well, what did you have?
I just had maybe a joint and a half.
Of marijuana?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you have it?
In my center console.
Where'd you get it from?
I brought it from home.
Had you used it while you were in Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am.
And you only had a little bit left?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, so now, against that backdrop, Officer Bird, the police officer gave him a ticket and also gave Mr. McMillan a ticket because under the laws in the state of Oklahoma, if there's marijuana or drugs in the car, everybody's responsible. So everybody gets a ticket. So Mr. McMillan got a ticket, and Miss Thomas over here had to pay the ticket, or else she was leaving Mr. McMillan in Oklahoma. And she wanted him home because it looks to me as if you're expecting.
Yes, ma'am.
How wonderful.
Tricia Thomas and fiancé Wesley McMillan say former friend Billy Chrisley caused them to be cited for possession of marijuana.
So, since you had to come up with this money because of his personal use of marijuana, you really feel as if he should take care of the ticket.
Correct.
I don't think I should because I already admitted up to my own stuff.
Why is it his fault?
Well, I don't see why the cop gave him a ticket for my stuff. I already gave it to him.
Because that's the law in Oklahoma. I haven't seen that law, but I must assume. In Oklahoma, if you are an adult and you are apprehended or stopped in a car and there is contraband, you know what that is? You know, bad stuff,
Yeah.
contraband?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody in the car is responsible.
Okay.
That's the law. So your suggestion that he sue the cop really doesn't make sense. Now, if you said to me, look, he shared the marijuana with me, he smoked the marijuana in Arkansas, he knew it was there because we both used it together.
Well, we did.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, where did you do that?
While we were up there.
In Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am.
Really? You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. McMillan.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I've been clean from every drug and alcohol for over 6 months and still going.
Well, sometimes there's a little bit of stress, Mr. McMillan, when you're escaping a hurricane.
Nope.
Because of the stress, he started smoking cigarettes again.
That was it.
Where were you in Arkansas, sir, when he was smoking this marijuana with you?
We were at the person's house that we were staying at. We just walked around the woods.
No, ma'am. The only time that me and Mr. Crisply ever took a walk. We went to the woods. There was nothing ever done. We ran down the side of a mountain and came back up, and that was it.
Now, when was your license suspended?
It was suspended in about, I think, 2002.
For what?
My dad gave me the keys to his truck so to give back to my mom. And when the cop pulled me over, they searched me, and all I had in there was, I had a 12-pack, but there was only 6 of them left. But when they searched the truck, they found a little baby roach that was in a film case that was in the truck, which I didn't know was there.
More drugs and alcohol.
Well, the alcohol was mine.
Was it inside your belly, inside your little tummy? 6-pack?
Yes.
So you lost your license because of drugs and alcohol?
No, it was just the drugs. They didn't charge me with alcohol.
Just the drugs. How'd you come up with the $940 to pay your ticket?
My ticket was $1,261.
Well, how'd you come up with $1,261?
I had to borrow it from my mom, and I'm still paying her back. They had to use their house note to pay for that fine. And by the time it added all up, it was $1,343.
You want to know something?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe him. I believe that Mr. McMillan knew that he had marijuana.
I didn't know he had it in the car.
I know you didn't, but Mr. McMillan did, and I believe he used it with him. Now, that certainly would indicate to me that he bore some responsibility for this marijuana being in the car. So I suggest you get your money from him. And while the defendant acknowledges that this was his marijuana, everything else he's told me, I believe. He's not making up this stuff because he's certainly not making himself look too good, right? You understand that I don't think you look like a model citizen.
Which I know I'm not.
We know you're not.
Yes, ma'am.
But I believe you when you say that he was smoking marijuana with you in Arkansas. You are telling me the truth, aren't you, sir? I believe you. So that being the case, Mr. McMillan, you pay your own ticket, and I suggest you reimburse your fiancé for the ticket. You knew the stuff was there. You enjoyed it while you were in Arkansas. You got to pay the piper. Case dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 293 on the calendar in the matter of Heater versus Titus. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Heater, the defendant used to be your girlfriend.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she had you falsely arrested for domestic violence.
Correct.
Ms. Titus says that she did call the police. She had you arrested for domestic violence, and that's because you hit her. Correct?
Yes.
This incident happened on what date?
July 28th.
Now, Ms. Titus, I am correct that at one point in your relationship, you found yourself pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And you told Mr. Heater that he was the father of this baby and that you miscarried. Is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
happened? But it turned out that he was not the father of this child.
It could have not been his.
Right. And then you renewed your relationship again briefly. But that's all it takes, Mr. Heater. A brief moment of stupidity, and Miss Titus told you she was pregnant again. And according to you, you said, listen, I didn't know about last time, I don't know about this time. I don't want to have anything to do with this baby until I take a paternity test.
Actually, what I told her was that I would help her out as long as I would be repaid if the baby was not mine.
You didn't discuss that with me first. I would have told you that that was a very bad idea. However, on the evening of the 28th of July, according to you, and according to Miss Titus, she called you and wanted to come over to talk.
Actually, he called me.
Yes.
What did you call her for?
I thought that she had a doctor's appointment regarding the baby the previous day, and I just called to see how it went.
And what did Miss Titus tell you?
She said that I was wrong about the date, that I believe it was the next day, and that she would like to come over and speak to me. And I said, I don't think that's a good idea. We speak face-to-face, that we should speak over the phone. And she said that she didn't want to speak over the phone.
So Mr. Heater told you not to come over.
Well,
you
no.
acknowledge that. He said he didn't want to talk to you
He
in person.
said that he didn't want to talk to me, but eventually said that it was okay for me to come over.
Did you tell her it was okay to
No,
come
I
over?
did not.
No, I don't believe that. It's not what you say in your answer, and I don't believe that. He said he didn't want to talk to you in person. He thought you should discuss whatever you had to discuss over the phone. But you went over there anyway. What time did you go over there?
About 12:30 in the afternoon.
What did you want to discuss with him?
I wanted to talk to him about the baby and about how things were going between us. We were, before this, we were going out and doing things together, and like...
Don't you people know anything about birth control?
Yes, they don't work for me.
They don't work for you?
Yes. My body rejects them.
There are all kinds of birth control, Ms. Titus.
Yes, ma'am.
The answer to having a problem with one form of birth control is not to have babies with people who don't want to have children with you, like Mr. Heater or anybody else. So you went over there about 12:30.
I knocked at the door, and he told me to come in, and We started talking, and I upset him. And
how did you upset him?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
Maybe you do. If you don't remember, maybe he does. What happened, Mr.
I
Heater?
was upset before she came into the house because I told her not to.
Come over.
And she started screaming through my door at me.
What was she saying?
You have to live up to your responsibilities. You can't create a situation and then not take care of it.
That doesn't sound welcoming, Miss Titus.
That never happened at all.
Go ahead.
So, to save myself from embarrassment from my neighbors, and I did open the door for her to try to...
So you let her in?
Yeah.
And what happened when she came inside?
It just continued on the same thing in there. You have to take care of this. And, I was trying to tell her I'm doing the best I can with this. I don't really know how to deal with this situation. Everything's so bad. I don't know what to do except for what I am doing, and that wasn't good enough for her. And for 30 or 45 minutes, she followed me around my house with me telling her to leave over and over and over again. She would not leave my house. And eventually I was in the kitchen sorting my dishes, and she came in and was pointing her finger at me, yelling at me in there, telling me the same thing, that I had to deal with my responsibilities. At that point, I took her by the hand that she was pointing at me with and just turned her around facing the kitchen door. And I had hold of her elbows with my body pressed against her back and was just walking her towards the door. I was like, you need to leave now. And she grabbed onto the kitchen doorway and started pressing back against me. And when I finally backed off of her and she let go of the door, she turned around and grabbed my hand like this, and then she smacked me in the face and said I had no right to touch her. And as a reaction, my hand came back around too.
So you hit her?
Yeah, regrettably I did come back around. She went off towards what I thought was the front door, but as I was in the kitchen, I heard her dialing my phone. She told me then that she called the police.
Do you have a copy of the police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Who is this gentleman, Mr. Heater?
This is my friend, Jason Hubbard.
Was he a witness to what happened on the 28th of July?
No, he wasn't.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Titus, tell me what happened, your version of what happened when you got into the house.
When I came into the house, we sat down on the couch and started to talk. At first, things were okay. Then I started talking about the baby and about this new girl that he's dating, and how that her not liking me around is the real reason why he's not wanting to have anything to do with the baby. Then he got upset and told me to leave, and I told him no, he can't just end the conversation anytime he wants
yes, he can.
to.
He can tell you to leave his house. Go ahead.
I followed him around the house and was still talking to him, and we ended up in the kitchen, and I had said something about this girl he's dating, his girlfriend, and he doesn't like me to refer to her as that, so that made him really upset. And he came and he grabbed me by my arms and started to escort me through the door, and I stopped myself, told him he didn't have any right to put his hands on me at all.
Yes, he did.
Not according to...
Oh, yes, he did. Once he tells you that he wants you to leave his house and you remain there, you're trespassing. That's a crime. Next.
Well, according to...
Don't tell me according to anybody. You tell according to a police officer. I've had 10 years of postgraduate legal education. When you're in somebody's house and you're an invited guest, first of all, you weren't an invited guest
But
in
I
this
was
house. I'm
invited.
speaking. You weren't an invited guest. You were told not to come. You came anyway. He tried to avoid you and said, please leave. Once he told you to leave his house and you refused, you become a trespasser.
Well, another reason
Now-
I didn't leave is because in previous arguments that we've had, he's asked me to leave, and then 10 minutes later he'll call me and tell me come back over.
Well, you just have to guess his mood there. Right now, he told you to leave, and you didn't leave. So he put his hands on you to escort you out. And what did you do?
I was pushing back against him, like you said, and I turned around, and he still had a hold of me when I smacked him in his face.
Right, so you smacked him in his face first.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he slapped you.
Twice.
Twice. You slapped him the first time, he slapped you twice. It's amazing to me that the police arrested you, sir. Absolutely amazing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have no right to lie to the police, because it was a lie what you told the police, that he pushed you in your stomach while you were pregnant. That's not what he did at all, because that's not what you told me happened.
And later today,
I asked her, what is he doing here? Why are you calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning if he's here?
He started running his mouth. Me and him got into a fight.
He came with a pipe of some sort, then smashed out the back window.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nathan Heater says ex-girlfriend Rebecca Titus had him falsely arrested for physically abusing her. Rebecca claims he kicked her in the stomach during her pregnancy.
Tried to get you out of the house. He's holding on to your arms. You're resisting him. Ultimately, you turn around. He's still pushing you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you slapped him.
Mm-hmm.
He slapped you then twice. Mm-hmm. Where did he slap you? In the face?
In the face.
And then he let go of you when you called the police.
Mm-hmm.
And you are there because you are pregnant.
Yes.
And you're concerned about the welfare of your baby.
Yes.
And that is the primary thing that you're concerned about, the welfare of your baby.
Yes.
So let me tell you what you told the police. Titus said that the defendant grabbed her by the arms and began to drag her out of his house, physically trying to remove her from the residence. She advised that she is pregnant with his child and that he pushed on her stomach. Was that meant to get the police really angry at him? Pregnant, he pushed on your stomach? You're full of baloney. And you had no right to have him arrested. And I'm amazed that they arrested him. He has a right to escort you out of his house if you refuse to leave. You hit him first. Did you hire a lawyer?
No, I had a public defender.
One of the things that I have to comment on is you're not too swift. If you're dating this girl and she tells you she's pregnant and it turns out it could have been you or somebody else, I wouldn't have had a wind through my head and then had intimate relations with her again, unprotected. Do we understand each other?
Completely.
Ms. Titus, you have to learn that domestic violence is a very serious crime. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you have a right to hit somebody and not expect to be hit back. And you have no right to lie to the police, because it was a lie what you told the police that he pushed you in your stomach while you were pregnant. That's not what he did at all, because that's not what you told me happened. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm glad that somebody let her know that there are consequences for her actions.
I want him to be a father to the child, and pending a paternity test, I think that he will be there.
Careful who you fall in love with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Foster versus Green. Step forward.
23-year-old Nick Foster is suing his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend, 25-year-old Derek Green, for smashing his car windows with a pipe. Derek claims Nick tried to run him over.
Where's the girlfriend?
She didn't want to come.
She couldn't make it because of work.
Didn't want to come sounds like a better answer.
Probably.
Mr. Foster, the defendant is your ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend?
Yes.
At the time, yeah.
And according to your complaint, one evening he was drunk and disorderly and damaged your car. Mr. Green says that he might have damaged your car, but that was because you tried to run him over. So why don't you tell me this story of intrigue?
Basically, my ex-girlfriend, who I've been together with on and off for 5 years now, she called me over about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Had you been sleeping when she called?
Trying to, no.
What were you doing?
I was getting home from a night out.
Was this a Saturday night?
It was a Thursday night.
So you were just coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, I was home probably about 2 o'clock, but she called me at 4 o'clock.
And you figured this is too good to pass up? I'm going over.
Yep.
Had you been drinking?
Earlier that night, yes.
And what happened when you got to her house?
I stayed over there for about hour and a half, and decided to leave.
Who does she live with?
She lives with her mother and her father.
How did she get you into the house?
The front door.
What happened when you left?
Her father was awake, so I decided to go out the back door. That's where I saw the defendant passed out in the backyard.
What were you doing in the backyard passed out, Mr. Green?
I was passed out there because my girlfriend had left with my buddy's girlfriend to go to the store to get cigarettes. I passed out. I wake up. He's chasing my girlfriend around.
You're getting ahead of yourself, sir. I'm asking the questions.
Nick Foster says his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend, Derek Green, vandalized his car with a pipe. Derek claims Nick is stalking him and his girlfriend.
Where were you earlier in the evening of the 8th of September?
We were at the bar drinking, me and Jacqueline.
Jackie's the girlfriend?
Yes.
How did you get to her house?
Her car.
Who drove?
I did.
You drove the car drunk?
Yes.
And when you got there, she told you you couldn't come in?
No, I was outside smoking a cigarette. I was not allowed to smoke in the house.
And you just fell asleep?
Yes.
Passed out?
Mm-hmm.
You were awakened at about what time?
Around 4 o'clock in the morning.
And tell me what you sort of remember.
So I remember seeing him chasing my girlfriend around the back patio. He ran out the back door and through the back gate.
So he went out the back door?
Yeah, after he had went in the back door.
He went out. No, you didn't see him go in.
I seen him
No,
running,
no,
chasing
you
my
know,
girlfriend.
listen to me.
All right.
Mr. Green,
Mm-hmm.
let's get it together, sir.
All right, I'm getting it together.
You didn't see him go in, correct?
Yeah.
But you saw him come out.
Yes.
You don't know what time he went in.
I don't really know what went on, to tell you the
When
truth.
you were in the house with your ex-girlfriend and the father woke up, was he angry?
He was upstairs.
What caused your girlfriend to leave the house?
I decided that I needed to leave. So she said, go out the back door. We could hear him walking upstairs. Upon doing that, that's when I noticed that he was outside. I asked her, what is he doing here? Why are you calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning if he's here? So I guess he heard us talking outside, came downside and told us all to leave.
You mean the father?
Yes.
When he said he told you all to leave, what did he say to you?
He said, everyone leave.
That was nice. I would have probably phrased it differently. So what did you do, Mr. Green?
I left.
Well, how did you come in contact with Mr. Foster's car?
After I had walked up the street, he come following me up the street. Me and him got into a fight.
How
stopped.
did you get into a fight? Explain
He
that.
got out of his car. He started running his mouth. Me and him got into a fight, started walking across the street. Then he got back into his car, come across the street, tried to run me over. I had to jump out of the way, and I threw a rock at his back window and busted his window out.
Why did you throw a rock at his back window?
It's an ongoing thing with him. It's, you know, he's been stalking us.
I'm asking you, what did the rock have to do with this altercation that you had?
He tried to run me over. He tried to kill me.
Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
What he said was correct to a point. Yes, we did get into a fight, and I got out of my car to run my mouth because he kicked us out of my car. His friends came over and separated us.
Where were your friends? What are all these people doing at 5 o'clock in the morning?
He woke him
They're not
up.
my friends.
We woke him up arguing, and they were right across the street.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
I'm 25.
It's not even the youth of America. Yes, go ahead. So,
Well, when you stand in the middle of the street as I'm trying to leave, yes, I guess you could say I tried to hit him.
with your car.
Well, yeah, if I'm driving in the middle of the street, he's in the middle of the street, then yes, I guess you could say I tried to hit him.
Yeah, go ahead.
He came after me as I pulled over. He came with a pipe of some sort, smashed the side of my car in the driver's door, then the back door, then smashed out the back window.
Does that sound right, Mr. Green?
No.
Well, how did all the windows get broken on his car?
I don't know how all the windows got broken. I know I busted the back window out. I didn't bust any of the other windows out.
Can I see pictures of the car, please?
The other windows were not busted out. It's the side, or the top of my car, on the side of my car, that was damaged with a pipe.
What kind of car do you have?
Grand Prix.
Ooh, no, that's a pipe, Mr. Green. That's not a rock, sir. That's pipe. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a roofing supervisor.
A what?
Roofing supervisor.
If I were spend my days up on the top of a roof, I don't think I would get as sauced as you do, sir.
I take off when I want.
That's responsible.
I pick my days.
Can I see the estimates on your car, please? Either one of you treated at any hospital or by any doctor on the night of the 8th or the 9th of September?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Treated by a doctor or a hospital?
No, I was not.
Okay, so we're not talking about any injuries to you. We're talking about two people who had been drinking a lot, right? Let me ask you a question. Did you have a fight with your ex-girlfriend that evening?
No.
Did you ask her whether or not she'd called him to come over?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
She said no.
But you see, that's a lie, because she let him in the house.
You know, when somebody stalks you so much, then you can only do so much.
Listen to me. If somebody's stalking, uncross your hands. If somebody's stalking you, you don't resolve his stalking by calling him at 4 o'clock in the morning to come over to the house. And you don't let him in the house, sir.
Yeah, well, he's coming to my house 2:30 in the morning.
I don't care about your house. I'm talking about the girlfriend's house, sir.
I'm not worried about that no more.
Oh. Listen, when you drink, you have to pay the piper. I don't think your girlfriend was honest with you, sir, with regard to what happened that evening. Maybe she was a little drunk, too, which is why she called Mr. Foster over. Certainly her father got fed up with all of you, told you all to leave. If he was afraid for his daughter's life, he would have taken her into the house and said, you guys get out of here because you're placing my entire family at risk. So think that's something you really have to look into. And maybe if you had a clear head, Mr. Green, and weren't so infused with alcohol, you could look at the situation a little more clearly. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,941. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 206 on the calendar in the matter of Smithson versus Smithson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Smithson, you and the defendant are related to each other through marriage. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you. You want her to be responsible for your medical bills and whatever pain and suffering you experienced as a result of an assault. You say that the plaintiff was disrespectful to your father-in-law?
To my father.
To your father. And that what ensued as a result of her being disrespectful was really no more than a scuffle, and the plaintiff was not injured. That's
Correct.
your defense. You both live in the same town?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And what town is this?
Bethesda, Paytonsville.
Maryland?
Tennessee. Franklin, Tennessee.
And how long have you been a Smithson?
27 years.
And you?
All my life. It's my maiden name.
Are there rich Smithsons and poor Smithsons?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I gather from these papers.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you one of the rich Smithsons or
Yes,
one of the
ma'am.
poor Smithsons?
I'm one of the richer Smithsons.
And you?
The poor Smithsons.
No, I got it. But I gather that the rich Smithsons and the poor Smithsons don't get along too well. So I want you to tell me your first name.
Doris Darnell Smithson.
And your first name?
Joanne.
I'm going to ask if you would allow me to be a little less formal because, first of all, Smithson is a tongue twister. And second of all, I want to be able to differentiate between the two of you. So would you mind if I were a little less formal? Is that all right? All right, Doris, tell me what precipitated this problem? I want you to explain to me.
Well, at the
what happened.
time, I really didn't know there was a problem. You know, there's always been harassment in the family ever since she's been in it, actually. But we've always got along with her because of my father's 92-year-old brother.
Okay. Now, your father's brother
Lives
is
with
her father-in-law.
Yes, ma'am. And it actually was me and her husband that actually had the argument.
Okay. Just tell me what precipitated the argument.
Okay,
There was a sale of property.
Yes,
An estate sale.
Estate sale.
And it was the estate sale of your father-in-law who was selling off personal property.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that so far right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, I go up there in good nature. We talk good. I talked with Joanne. I talked with Sam Jr. about stuff that they still had to sell. And I asked them if they had any more of Mammy's stuff, you know, my grandmother's. And they said no. Then they were talking about a lamp that my father wanted. I have no idea about this oil lamp she's talking about. And I said, well, what kind of oil lamp is it he's wanting? And maybe I can get him one. And then Sam Jr. starts coming out just cussing.
Sam Jr. is her husband?
Her husband.
Okay.
See, so this was really mine and Sam Jr.'s argument.
Okay. You and her husband got into an argument.
Me and her
over
husband
this,
got in an argument.
over this missing oil lamp.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. So he starts just fussing and just really getting mad, and I'm just calm. I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. You know, you've always been the greedy one in the family, and he always has. He's always been different from all of us.
What day was this, Doris?
Our fight was April the 16th, so it was the Saturday before that. It was the 10th.
10th of April. That was a week before this altercation
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
had with Joanne.
Yes, ma'am.
Go
You know,
ahead.
so I left, and when I get home, he had called and said that my father went to their sale and left his lounge chairs. Him and my mother left their lounge chairs there.
Did they purchase these chairs?
No, it was their chairs that they
gave
took
them
to sit in at the auction. So the next day, my father goes up there to get these chairs, and she clobbers him, just literally clobbers him.
Okay. Would you step up, please, sir? Your last name is?
Smithson.
Mr. Smithson. Tell me what happened when you went to get your chairs.
When we didn't get the chair, it was on a Sunday. So I called Joanne and I asked, I said, we left 2 chairs up there. Did somebody get them or they're still there? She said, they're sitting out there in front of the barn. So I said, I'll be up there in the morning, which had been Monday morning, so I'll be up there around 9:30 or 10 to get them. She said, that'd be fine. So about 9:30, I went up there. I stopped right in front of the trailer at the parking place, and when I got out, my brother was sitting on the porch. And she come out, and that's when she started shaking her finger at me, cussing, and my brother got
Well,
up
what
high.
did she say to you?
She called me SBs, MF, you name it, she called it.
But she had locked his chairs up in her trunk and wasn't going to let him have him. You're going to listen to me. You tell Darnell.
You listen to me. You weren't listening to me. Doris, you weren't there. And your father is doing just fine.
But finally, she come off my porch, and I said, Joanne, where my chair that? She said, well, you going to listen to me first. I said, no, I didn't come up here to argue with you. I said, I come get my chairs. So finally, she got the chairs out of the car and rammed them up again and said, hey, these chairs. She said, let me tell you some others. We got the lamp, but the only way you get it be busted over your D head. And she said they're married, but Sam Jr. tell everybody they ain't married. So I don't know.
Well, that's not for me to figure out right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Smithson.
Thank you,
may
Your
have
Honor.
a seat. What did you yell at him about?
I did.
Joanne, yes, you did. You did. I know you did. You know I know you did? Because I can tell when people are telling me the truth, and he's told me the truth. What were you yelling at him about?
I didn't yell at him, Your Honor. He came up to the front porch. That's when I went outside. And then I said, I've got something I need to talk to you about. And I said, I don't want to hear any more about this oil lamp.
Did you put the chairs in the trunk of your car?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I was afraid that with these type of people we're dealing with, they could have said we stole them or anything.
Listen, do you understand what I mean when I say to you that I can tell when people are lying to me, Miss Smithson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can tell by their body English, you can tell by their hesitation, you can tell by their shifting, you can tell. I can tell. That's my job. I've been doing it for 35 years. So I can tell that you just made up a story. You were terribly disrespectful to him. There was no reason for you to put his chairs in the trunk of your car. Absolutely none.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Darnell comes behind my car and opens up the door, and after that, I don't remember the hit.
And later today,
You're told that your daughter's lungs are bleeding because of this bird, and you keep the bird November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Where is your head?
claims her husband's cousin, Doris Smithson, attacked her, slamming her face into the dashboard of a car. Doris claims Joanne is the family troublemaker.
Now who are you?
Amber.
You're the one with the oil lamp.
No.
Where is the oil lamp?
Well, the oil lamp that they're talking about, I have no idea what oil lamp they're talking about.
Well, let's say any oil lamp, Amber. Let's start with any oil lamp, and I want you to be very clear on this, my dear.
Okay.
I can tell when your mother's lying, and I can tell when you're lying.
Well.
So, let's get to this. Do you live at home?
No, I don't.
You live in your own place?
Yes, I do.
Do you have an oil lamp in your
No, I
place?
don't.
Any oil lamp?
No, I have no.
Have you ever seen an oil lamp in your mother and father's house?
I've seen several oil
How
lamps.
many?
10, 12, maybe.
Okay. Do you know of any ones that you've seen in your mother and father's home that belonged to your grandmother?
I wouldn't know if it belonged to her or not.
So what you're telling me is you know nothing about the oil
lamp.
lamp. All right. Now you can have a seat. You're very lucky. Where's his oil lamp?
This oil lamp does not exist.
Fine. Now, I've already made a decision that you behaved badly with Mr. Smithson. That does not excuse an assault if one took place. Doris, you have to understand that. Too. So now, Joanne, I want you to tell me what happened on the 16th of April when you were getting some gas.
Okay. My husband and I went to a local market, Bethesda Market. I was sitting in my car, seatbelt on. My husband went inside to get us a cold drink because we was on our way to the flea market. Darnell comes behind my car and opens up the door.
The passenger door?
Yes. And I looked up, and it was Darnell. And after that, I don't remember the hit. There's several things I remember, some things I don't remember.
Do you have photographs of your injuries?
I have a diagram, photograph from the emergency room.
The answer is you do not have photographs.
No.
You have medical records.
Right.
Good, I'll see the medical records. Anybody have a police report?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
I've got two. The day of the assault and also the revenge assault against me over the lamp that I was cleared of.
What?
The same day, she and her father took out a revenge warrant against me over
I never
a
heard of a
lamp.
revenge warrant.
Well, it is.
No,
Okay. There's no such thing as a revenge warrant.
Then what is
They
it?
filed a complaint against you.
Okay. The same day that the assault happened.
Well, there is absolutely no issue as to whether you were assaulted or not. You were, in fact, assaulted.
Also, I was. Shh. Okay.
Mr. Smithson,
Yes, ma'am.
step up here, sir. You filed a complaint with the police.
I did not.
Well, your daughter did. And the most important thing is that when the police officer questioned you, you told the police as follows, because this is in the police officer's own language. Mr. Smithson, that's you, said that when he returned home, that he told his daughter Darnell about Joanne's actions and abusive language and remarks that were directed towards him, that you told your daughter. According to Mr. Smithson, Darnell said that when next she saw Joanne, that she would whoop her. And from his testimony, she did. Did your daughter say that to you?
I didn't even see my daughter that day, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Whether it was that day or the next day, you told the police. You wouldn't have lied to the police, would you,
No,
Mr.
I would
Smithson?
not.
Either you told the police that your daughter said she was going to whoop Joanne, or the police officer is lying. Which one do you think
I'm
it
not
is?
going to say the officer's lying, no.
Good.
I will
I'm
not.
glad you wouldn't say that,
I
Mr.
would not.
Smithson. Sit down now. Okay. Now I'm going to hear you, Doris, because you see.
Yes, ma'am.
I know when people are lying, like Joanne here.
Yes.
But I can read medical records, and I know she was assaulted.
But not $4,000 worth. I have one.
I want to
also
tell you
here.
something.
Right, now, now.
Not $4,000 worth. How much do you think it's worth when somebody hits you in the face?
Well, I really never hit her.
Yes, you did.
All I did
dear.
was just, she come out of her car. Nobody seen me hit her.
I didn't ask whether
I
anybody.
was
I saw the
walking out
medical.
of there.
Listen to me. I saw the medical records. She was hit in the face.
Okay. I was also scratched right here.
Did she go to your car?
No, I live right across the store. I'm going to the store. They're already there. And she hollers at me first, "Hey, you." And I said, oh Lord, here's Joanne. You know, she starts coming out of her car. I calmly just set her right back down in her seat.
That's worth $4,000, madam.
Well,
Because
it could
what you're
be.
doing is fibbing to me.
Joanne Smithson claims her husband's cousin, Doris Smithson, attacked her, slamming her face into the dashboard of a car. Doris claims Joanne is the family troublemaker.
Doris, medical records don't lie. Diagrams of her injuries don't lie. Listen, pay careful attention. Because you were angry that your father was disrespected by Miss Big Mouth over here.
Well, if she
I'm
was
speaking.
hurt.
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Without any just cause. Because I do have a feeling that she's a troublemaker. I believe that.
Yeah.
Because I think that probably a lot of things that were sold, things that might have had sentimental value to both brothers, should have been, before you sell them to strangers, you say, listen, would you like something of Mom's? Would you like something that's been in the family for a long time? That's what decent people do, Joanne. And if you didn't do that, and if your husband didn't do that, that means you're not decent people. Do you understand? However, that doesn't mean you can put your hands on her. So, the fact that she disrespected your father, and the fact that you did say to him, next time I see her, I'm going to whoop her, the fact that you did it is going to cost you $4,000. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I run to her car. I jumped in there. I jumped on her and I grabbed her like that. And if she jumps on him again, I'll do it again.
This is such a dysfunctional family.
All of our families together, they're the only one that's out of the family.
I don't even associate with these people.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Smith versus Franks. Step forward.
Amber Smith is suing her sister, Vanessa Franks, for selling her cockatoo and keeping the proceeds.
Miss Smith, this is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this case is not going to take long, Bird. Don't get comfortable, because I quite frankly don't understand what the defense is in this case. You sold your sister a bird, an exotic bird. What kind of bird was it?
She was a Moluccan cockatoo.
And you charged her how much for the bird?
Only $700 for the bird in the cage, which is normally worth a lot more.
Please. That's not complicated. You charged her $700.
Yes.
And she was going to pay you.
Yes.
Little bits. And she paid you some. How much did she pay you?
She paid me $100 in November.
And then she stopped making payments.
Yes.
Your sister says that you were supposed to come and get the bird because her daughter had some sort of an illness, that she couldn't be in the house with the bird. She told you to come and get the bird. You didn't come and get the bird, so she sold it.
Yes, ma'am.
And sold it for?
$500.
$500. And you took the $500 and you?
Put it in the bank.
That's my question, Miss Franks. If you sold the bird,
yes, ma'am,
why do you think you're entitled to sell the bird and keep the money instead of paying your sister for the bird?
Okay, in November, my daughter's lungs bled in November of 2004. I called my sister on the phone, stated to her, I'm either going to have to sell this bird or you can have the bird back. She said, we want the bird back, don't sell the bird. They came for Thanksgiving. You taking the bird? No, we're not taking the bird. Christmas, are you taking the bird?
Miss Franks, is what you're telling me, just put your hand down. So what you're telling me that your daughter's lungs were bleeding because of the bird.
Right.
And you kept the bird in your house between November, when your daughter was diagnosed with this illness?
No, she's been diagnosed since birth.
Well, between the time you were told to get rid of the bird in November and you kept the bird till Christmas?
The bird was actually in my home until right at the beginning of May.
What town do you live in?
Milledgeville, Georgia.
Anywhere in the state of Georgia, do they have an animal rescue?
Not
of course
where
they
I
do.
live, no.
I don't care where you live or not. They do have trees in Georgia, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, if my child had bleeding lungs, and doctor told me in November that I had to get rid of this bird because this bird was causing my child's lungs to bleed, and if I couldn't find someone to take that bird, it is warm in Georgia, isn't it?
For part of the year, yes.
Well, I would hope that it was the right part of the year because that window would be open, that bird would be gone. I don't understand where you're coming from. You're told that your daughter's lungs are bleeding because of this bird. And you keep the bird November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Where is your head?
She's my sister at the same time.
Please don't speak. Okay. Listen to me, Miss Smith.
Yes.
Your sister acknowledges that she told you she was going to give you $700 for the bird.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything cogent as to why she should be able to sell a bird that she didn't pay for and not pay for it. Anybody hear a reason? Hearing none, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 319 on the calendar in the matter of McLean versus Reed. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Reed, how many children do you have, sir?
6.
Who is your oldest child?
Stephanie.
That's this child here?
Yes.
And your youngest?
Brandon.
How old is Brandon?
Brandon is 8.
You and Mrs. McLean were married for how long?
2 years, I believe.
And how many children do you have together?
2.
Your daughter is planning her wedding. And according to what I read, Mrs. McLean, you and your former husband agreed to split the cost of the wedding. You did a budget. It was going to be $5,000. Mr. Reed, you agreed to pay for half.
Correct.
You did, in fact, pay $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
But the wedding went over budget, and you want him to pay half of the overage of $800.
Yes.
And Mr. Reed says, you went over budget, girls. That's your problem. I agreed to pay for half the wedding, which was budgeted at $5,000, and that's what I'm going to pay.
I agree.
Why did you go over budget?
Well, the reason we had gone...
John, listen. Did you have a nice wedding?
Yeah. She had a beautiful wedding.
Beautiful wedding, beautiful bride, beautiful husband, nice-looking parents. Don't act... What?
I said yes, thank you.
Do you let him speak at home? Is that the reason he feels compelled to speak here? Because he's not allowed to speak at home?
Don't speak, honey.
She's cute. Okay, now getting back to you. Why did you go over budget?
Well, the reason we had gone over budget was we had it at the reception at a place that cost a lot more money than we had anticipated.
Now, when you realized that this was going to cost more than you anticipated, because you could have found a site that would have cost within the budget, but that's not what you really wanted, right? You wanted a different place. What did you do when you realized you were going over budget?
Well, Stephanie and I did a lot of emails back and forth because she's actually lives in Utah. And I was planning the wedding here. And so I had told her that it looked like we were probably going to go over the cost of the wedding. And so she was kind of my in-between person between her dad and I, and had emailed to him and his current wife that we were going to be probably going over the budget.
Do you have an email from him indicating that's fine, I will pay half of whatever the overage is?
I do.
Let me see it.
This was actually an email to Stephanie.
That's fine. Well, this is not from Mr. Reed. This is from Mr. Reed's wife.
Right.
Do you know that your wife sent an email, sir, that said, listen, that's to Steph, and said, your dad and I don't have a problem if you go over the $5,000 sum, as long as your mom is willing to split the cost. Do you know that your wife said that?
At the time that email was written, no, I wasn't aware that she said that.
When did you become aware of this?
I became aware about 1 to 2 weeks before the wedding as we discussed the overage.
So your wife was speaking allegedly for you, which she can't do, but they acted upon this and then went over their budget. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it was really in good faith that your daughter went over the budget because she felt as if she was dealing with your wife, and your wife had the authority to say, okay, as long as mom splits the cost and as long as you're not going over too much. So when you found out, Mr. Reed, about this email, what did you do?
Well, by the time I had found out about the comment that my wife made, things had already become contentious because all along I had made it clear to Holly that I agreed to a certain amount. Not only that, in the beginning, Holly wanted to spend far less. I actually felt that we should spend more, and it was my suggestion to pay the $5,000. Then come
Is that
back.
true?
That's true.
That's a good guy.
So to then come back to me and then say that she wanted me to pay more money, and not only that, in the beginning when she wanted me to pay the overage, she wanted me to pay the entire overage, which she estimated would be $300 to $400. And like I say, it became contentious, and so I said, we're going to have to settle the matter after the wedding. I don't want it to affect the wedding.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Reed. So?
So?
Well, he did not agree to pay half of the overage.
I know he did not agree to pay half. But when I had sent them an email stating why we had gone over, and he even told me on the wedding day that he would help me pay the overage of the wedding.
Did you tell her that, Mr. Reed?
What I said is that I would look at the expenses and analyze them and get back to her.
And did you look at the expenses?
I did.
Anything there look untoward to you?
The invitations cost $280 more than we had originally was discussed with my wife, Suzanne. There was a DJ that I knew nothing about, and he cost $450.
Well, DJ is great at a wedding. Did everybody have a good time?
I think so.
Did you dance?
A little bit.
I didn't say if you danced well, Mr. Reed.
Yes.
I said, did you dance?
I did.
Other than the DJ for $450, was it originally anticipated that there was any music?
There was going to be pre-recorded music. Okay.
I have very little sympathy because if what we're talking about here is $800, I would have paid the $2 so we wouldn't end up here. So there wouldn't be any bad feeling. You probably already paid so much to raise your daughter to this point, right? Probably cost you a couple of bucks over the course of, how old are you?
19.
19 years? So I don't know whether I would make a big to-do. But let's see. All right, the DJ, what else?
Let's see. There was a video that was done that was presented at the wedding. It was a nice video. It was $210.
A video of what?
They interviewed Stephanie and Tim about the way they met and things like that. And it was shown at the wedding. Yes, it was nicely done. But once again, I knew nothing about it. The bridesmaids' outfits, traditionally the bridesmaids pay for those.
That's absolutely right. Why didn't the bridesmaids pay for their own outfits?
Well, Stephanie and I discussed that we would just take care of that.
Well, I don't know. You can't do that and obligate him. Ms. McLean. First of all, it's not traditional.
Right.
And second of all, you can't be magnanimous with his money. What else?
The last one is traditionally a portion of the flowers are paid for by the groom or the groom's family. So the portion of those flowers, I have it listed at $248.
Can I say something about the flowers? I didn't feel we should ask Tim's family to pay for the flowers. They were actually having a reception in Arizona a week later, and they were paying for everything there for that reception. And they also paid for the luncheon, so I didn't feel it was right to ask them to also pay for the flowers.
Well, very nice. What do you want from him?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you call him and tell him about the DJ before you hired the DJ?
No.
Did you call him and tell him that you were going to pay for the bridesmaids' dresses?
No.
You cannot use your former husband as a cash register.
And later today,
You don't say, I think I overpaid for this house. Let me see how I can get the price down a little bit. We understand each other, Mr. Zarba?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Holly McLean says ex-husband Steve Reed owes for his share of their daughter's wedding. Steve says Holly went over budget.
He doesn't want to be used as a cash register.
Oh, I understand.
Which is, we'll make the arrangements and you'll pay your half. And we don't have to consult with you. We're going to tell you this is what we want to do, and if it goes over, it goes over. Well, that's unreasonable.
Well, there's more to it than that.
You may explain it to me. But did you call him and tell him about the DJ before you hired the DJ?
No.
Did you call him and tell him that you were going to pay for the bridesmaids' dresses before you agreed to pay for them?
No.
Did you call him and tell him you decided not to ask the bridegroom's family for the flowers?
Yes, we did tell them that.
When?
Before the wedding, when he had stated that they thought that the groom's family had to pay for part of the flowers.
And what did you say? You told him no.
I didn't agree with that.
Fine. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean he's not entitled to say, that's fine. You want to pay for that? Pay for it.
Okay, but there's more to it. Where we had the reception, we actually wanted to have it at my parents' house so we could cut the costs. Well, Steve didn't want to have it there.
I don't blame him.
It would have been, the cost would have been a lot less.
Miss McLean, what you just said to me has absolutely nothing to do with what I've told you, which is you cannot use your former husband as a cash register. He's a person with opinions, and as long as you want to spend money and you want him to reimburse you for the money, he has the right to an opinion. You may not agree with that opinion, and if you don't agree with it and you want to spend the money, you spend it. What he's complaining about is you didn't discuss it with him, and that was wrong. I just want you to understand that I don't think your father was wrong. I think your mother was well-intentioned, but I don't think your father was wrong. And I've been involved with lots of weddings. And I wouldn't think of saying to my ex-husband, you're going to pay for half, and I'm going to decide where it's going to be, what kind of music we have, what flowers we have, what the invitations look like, and I'll send you the bill for half. Right?
But we did...
Flattened out on the floor. And I wouldn't blame him. So, in case there's any bad feeling, I don't think your father was wrong. And Miss McLean, if you wanted to do these things and you chose not to get an agreement with him before, you pay for it yourself. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He did agree to it in his email with his current wife, and I really felt that he should have paid half.
I actually did send $102 over the amount, and then I was just served papers where there was no discussion after that.
I just wish it wouldn't have happened. I would have rather not had an expensive wedding at all.
It's just water under the bridge. We'll move forward and we'll be fine.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Friedman versus Zarba. Step forward, please.
Al Friedman is suing the current owner of his previous home, Mike Zarba, for the balance of a loan and for disposing of his valuable war memorabilia.
Mr. Friedman, you had a piece of property, a home.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, at first you leased that home to Mr. Zarba. And then there was a discussion about him purchasing the home. He ultimately did purchase the home.
Yes.
He had some trouble with getting an appropriate mortgage because of some credit problems that he may have had. And you loaned him the closing costs, which
Correct.
were $20,000, with a promise that he would repay that money within 90 days.
60 days.
60 days.
Correct.
So first it is your claim that he owes you some of that money, $2,800?
As of, no, it's $1,800
$1,800
left on the loan.
The second part of your lawsuit is that there was an agreement between the two of you that you could keep some property at the house, which you claim Mr. Zarba discarded.
Correct.
Mr. Zarba acknowledges that he discarded the property. He said that he gave you enough time to get it out, and he's not paying you the $1,800 that he acknowledges he owes on the original loan because he was forced to A, hire a dumpster to get rid of your stuff, and B, he stored it all that time. Is that right, Mr. Zarba?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you first rent this house, Mr. Zarba?
End of July 2004.
And when you rented the house, Mr. Friedman still had some property there in both the shed and in an attic?
Yes.
When did you purchase the house?
April 2005.
And when did Mr. Friedman loan you the $20,000?
The closing, but we had an agreement where I did some work for him, so it wasn't really a loan.
Listen to me. When did he loan you the $20,000, which you acknowledge in your answer?
It would be the beginning of April.
And how long were you supposed to have to repay this loan, Mr. Zarba?
In about 60 days.
Good. When does your receipt indicate that you hired this dumpster to get rid of his property?
August 5th.
When did you tell Mr. Friedman that you weren't going to pay him his $1,800 until he removed his property?
It was the end of July, right?
July what?
20th.
And tell me about the conversation that you had with Mr. Friedman.
Well, he showed up unexpected again. He treated me like I was a mini storage.
Listen to me. What conversation did you have with him?
The conversation was, you need to take care of your stuff, get it out, and we'll settle up.
Well, he came to your property
Yes.
looking for money. He didn't come there looking to take his stuff. He came there looking for his $1,800.
Well, it was $2,800 then. And I gave him $1,000.
And when you gave him the $1,000, you said, when you get the rest of your stuff out of here, you'll get your other $1,800.
Yes.
Is that what you said to him?
Yes.
And what did he say to you?
He said he was going to get it out. That was the only agreement we had.
And he said he would get it out.
He said he'd get it out.
Now, 2 weeks later, you disposed of his property.
Yes. Gave him till August 1st, in a few days.
Well, so far you didn't give him any time, sir. You didn't say that to me. No. You said, when you get your stuff out, I'll give you your money. That's what you said to me. I repeat, listen to me.
Okay.
I repeated it twice to you.
Okay.
Al Friedman says the man who bought his home disposed of his valuable war memorabilia. Mike Zarba claims it looked like junk.
What troubles me, Mr. Zarba, quite frankly, is your answer. The first line of your answer is the most telling part of your character. You say, I owe him nothing. We were overcharged for the home considering its condition, and he's lucky we didn't charge him for storing the items. That you wrote. So what you're saying is that after you lived there for a while and there were lots of things that you had to repair in the house, you didn't like the condition of the house, you said, I want to renegotiate in my own way the sale price of this house because I overpaid him for the house to begin with. You didn't write there that we had an agreement that we would store the stuff until August 1st. He didn't pick up the stuff August 1st. I hired a dumpster. No. The first thing that you wrote, the most important thing that you wrote was, I didn't like the purchase price, and I'm going to take another $1,800 out of the purchase price because I deserve that. That's not the way life works, Mr. Zarba. Is this your first house?
No, ma'am.
Well, I don't know what you did in your other houses, sir, but that's not the way you close a house. You close a house, you negotiate a price, that's the price. Once you purchase it, you don't say, I think I overpaid for this house. Let me see how I can get the price down a little bit. We understand each other, Mr. Zarba?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect! Mr. Friedman, I want you to tell me what stuff, and I want you to be very careful because I am an ecumenical abuser. I don't like when somebody tries to put one over late in the game because that's what he did.
Yes.
I don't like when you try to put one over on me.
Yes.
So I want you to tell me what valuable items you left in the house.
And I made a list. And I'll go
you sure you want me to look at that list?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to take a look at it.
The largest items on that list were two major important pieces to me were I had military boxes marked with military. I had a frame of when I was in Vietnam of a load crew in front of a plane that had my military ribbons on it. I'm a disabled veteran from Vietnam. There's also boxes I had marked with kids' items that had finger paintings in it from the time that they were kids and just paraphernalia that they did through the years.
What you're really telling me is that The only thing that were there was your memorabilia. That is valuable because two wooden Santa sleighs, handmade, 2 coolers, 2 sets of Malibu yard lights. I don't want to deal with that, sir.
Correct.
I had 10 years of postgraduate work. I don't deal with this. If it was important to you, you should have gotten it out. Now, you just disposed of everything, Mr. Zarba?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, that was the wrong thing to do.
There was nothing in there that looked like it was anything somebody would save. I've got pictures here.
I'm going to take a look at your pictures. Right now. Can I see the pictures, please?
I mean, this is what he left me.
First of all, get a new camera or take photography lessons. I don't know what this is. Grass. I don't know what this is. I have no idea, sir. This is a whole major blur. Are you doing
I let
this on
him in
purpose?
several times.
Listen to me, sir. Are you doing this on purpose?
No, ma'am.
When you took a picture of the grass, I could see that this is grass.
Yeah.
This looks like a Hungarian goulash, sir.
It was in the attic.
Do
The
you
lighting
suffer
wasn't very good. I
It
agree.
has nothing
The
to do
pictures
with
don't look
listen,
great. but-
Listen to me, Mr. Zarba. This has nothing to do with lighting.
Okay.
This looks like somebody who's had a bad hangover took these pictures. All right. He had no right to destroy your property, so he had no right to take it away. He owes you $1,800 because he's a deadbeat on a loan that he made, and he owes you $1,500 for what he threw out. I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Suing him for $4,300, I think that's excessive, sir, for the junk that you left there for over a year. But he has to be taught a lesson that he can't dispose of your stuff. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,300. That's it. Goodbye and good luck. Nothing.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 269 on the calendar in the matter of Feinstein versus Fairley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Mr. Feinstein, it is your complaint that you were assaulted and your car vandalized while you were at the defendant's bar.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendant, although I don't think you were there, is that right?
I wasn't there.
She says through her employees, I'm sure she has witnesses here, are going to tell me that you were very drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
And, well, I gather you acknowledge that you were very drunk, and any injuries that you sustained were sustained as a result of you flailing around and hurting yourself, and they don't know anything that happened to your car. So, what's the name of your bar, pub?
Scotland Yard Pub.
Which of your employees was there that evening?
Justin and Eric.
All right, stand up, please. And you don't know anything about this of your own personal knowledge?
No, I wasn't there.
You can have a seat. Justin?
Yes.
And Eric?
That's correct.
What is your given first name?
Lucky.
That's what your parents named you?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. Are you an only child?
No. There's 3 other siblings.
Are you the first, second, third, or the fourth?
I'm the 4th.
You're the last one.
Lucky to be here.
Got it. Okay. When did this incident happen at the pub?
The 22nd of what?
First, we got to get the date. Questions get harder, Lucky.
7/22, I believe it was.
Had you been to this pub before?
Only a couple times before this.
Immediately prior to the 22nd of July, when had you been to the pub?
Maybe a week before that.
So sometime the 15th, 16th.
Yeah.
Prior to that, when had you been to the club?
Maybe a month previous to that one.
Never had any trouble there?
Never, no.
You have a drinking problem?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, I like to drink, but I don't consider myself having a problem with it, no.
Well, according to you, Lucky, on the 22nd of July of 2005, you were drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
If I had to place a wager, I would say you have at least a minor problem with alcohol.
I would agree with that, yes.
Who do you live with?
I live with my parents.
They still think they're lucky?
I help them. I think that they do, yes, because I help them out.
So tell me what happened on the 22nd, Lucky.
Okay, in the afternoon, I was at my friend's restaurant, which is a couple doors down from theirs.
What were you doing there?
I was eating pizza. They have a pizza place. I've been going there for the past 25 years. And I decided to go next door, and I was advised to never ever go into that place because I would end up in trouble there, because there's always trouble over there. I went over there and ended up there a lot longer than I anticipated. I had way more drinks than I, wanted to have, but I was having a good time, so I kept on.
How were you having a good time?
Well, I was shooting pool, and I was talking to people, and I was buying several people drinks. Then, approximately 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, I made the mistake.
What time did you arrive there?
Oh, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had maybe 12 beers there or something like that. I was out of control, I admit that, but I didn't cause any problems. I wasn't obnoxious.
When you say you were out of control, Lucky,
drinking.
Tell me what you mean.
Drinking wise, I overdid it drinking wise, and I knew that I was drunk and I wasn't about to drive out of there to leave. You know, I was going to call a taxi, and I went into the bathroom. That was the mistake I made because the bouncer was in there. No words were exchanged. I looked at him, and the next thing I know, I was out unconscious. And then I found myself in the parking lot, left for dead. When I came to, first thing I saw was him again.
Which one?
This guy here in the black shirt.
That would be Eric.
I asked him for help, realizing that my wallet was missing, and if I could go back in the bathroom to see if my wallet was in there. He said, "No, you're drunk. Get out of here." And then he said the police are coming too. So I said, well, okay, well, I would like to wait for the police and talk to them. The police came, and they just told me that I need to go home too. Call a taxi, do whatever, go home.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I'd
ma'am.
like to see it. Go ahead.
I went over to my truck, my tailgate, and sat there. A couple women came over and were sitting next to me, assuring me everything's going to be okay. A couple minutes go by, and the police come back again, which I was not causing any more problems, that's for sure.
Well, somebody called them.
They were called again.
But they weren't called by you.
No, ma'am.
So they were called by somebody about your behavior.
But I wasn't doing anything.
That's not my question. I said they were called by somebody about your behavior.
They were called a second time.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't the police report about their call. This is a police report that you made that said that somebody punched you in the mouth and took your property. There has to be a police report of when they responded to their calls. You did call the police, didn't you?
I called the first time.
Who called the second time?
One of the customers that was out in the parking lot.
You have a copy of that police report?
No, we do not.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, so then the police came for the second time, and they said, we're going to take you home. We're going to give you a taxi ride home. And they put me in handcuffs, which is very embarrassing to me to be put in handcuffs like I'm being arrested. At that point, I realized that I needed to go to the hospital. My face was puffing up, my back of my head, I was dizzy. So they said, would you like an ambulance? I said, yes, I would very much like an ambulance. I went to the hospital, they sewed my lip up, and then I walked back towards my vehicle, which is several miles away from there. And it was about 2:30 in the morning at that time. I realized that my truck was vandalized. My windshield was busted. My car was keyed around the sides of my car. My tailpipes were kicked down to the ground. And at that point, I realized that I better not say anything to them. And so there was a taxi out in the parking lot, and I was taken home. The very next morning, I went back there, and I talked to the owner, Patrick Sirely, and asked him if he would mind paying my hospital bill because I was beaten up in his establishment.
But you don't know who beat you up.
I'm not clear on that, but all I know is I saw him, and then I was out cold. And then I found myself in the parking lot coming to, and then I saw him again, at my feet, basically. Or I was at his feet.
So who's going to start?
I'll start.
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets and start.
When I got to work that night at 7, he came up to order another beer about a half hour into my shift, and I noticed that he was intoxicated, so I refused to serve him, and he went haywire and slammed his fist down on the bar.
Put your hand down, sir.
Called me a name that I don't think I can say. He started ripping up $100 bills in front of everyone from his wallet. Nobody laid a finger on him inside the bar. I didn't want to get into a physical altercation with him, so I waited till our doorman got on at 9. Finally, when he was put outside of the bar, he kept charging Eric, trying to bust his way back in. I went out to see what was going on. He threatened to get a gun from his truck and kill me and Eric and everybody else in the parking lot. Began kicking his own truck, pounding his head into his own truck, and punching into his own truck and other people's cars in the parking lot. At one point, he knelt down in front of Eric, took off his shirt, and said, just kill me right now, just kill me right now. And that's what it seemed like it was going to get to a point where I needed to call the police because people were very angry that he was...
Is that when you called the police the first time?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. You managed to do that all by yourself.
And later today...
You think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lucky Feinstein says During a night of drinking, he was assaulted by bar doorman Eric Galan. Eric and his co-worker Justin Murphy claim Lucky was out of control drunk.
Okay, Eric, you got on about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock, and it wasn't too long until Justin called me over. And I tell Lucky that he was done for the evening, he needed to go someplace else. He asked why. He said, I told him that, you were giving a problem to our bartender. Come back some other night, I'll buy you a beer, and, that'll be the end of it. He got upset and irate, said that he had a gun in his truck, and he was going to start shooting the place up. One of the customers that was sitting outside got upset by that. They started having a yelling match. I got involved. I separated the two. And he continued to threaten people that were around. He said, I was going to come back and get you, shoot you, shoot you. And that's when he tried to bully his way through me. And as soon as he touched me, I just put him to the ground, held him down.
When you say you put him to the ground, how did you put him to the ground, Eric?
Tripped his leg and put him on his back, one hand on his chest, one hand holding his arm. I said he needed to calm down. As soon as I let go of his arm, he swung on me. And I just knocked it out of the way and held him down again. And Justin was outside and said, do I need to call the cops? I said, yes, please call the police officers. I got off of Lucky, went inside to make sure the cops were coming. Came back outside like after a minute or two, and Lucky was already laid up against the wall at the pizzeria. Now, I didn't talk to Lucky at all in the bathroom. I don't know where that came from. So after he was laid out, he woke up like a couple minutes later, and he asked me who knocked him out. I had no idea who did it. And then he started accusing me that I stole his wallet.
Did you find his wallet in the pub? Did you find your wallet subsequently?
No, Your Honor, I didn't. The police officers came. They spoke with him. They spoke with me. They said they needed to take another call, but he was going to leave the area. He was walking down the alley. As soon as the cops were out of sight, he came back and continued to talk to some other person who wasn't even there that night.
Where were you when you observed this?
Standing at the door.
You remember any of that, sir?
No, ma'am. I never left that parking lot. I was waiting for the police to come because I wanted
The police came already, sir. They came and they left.
Right, and then they came back a second time.
Right. My question is, why did they have to come back a second time? Why didn't you just leave?
Because I was very drunk. I wasn't about to go anywhere, and I was sitting on my tailgate wondering, what am I going to do now?
Listen to me very carefully, sir. When you're very drunk, it's very, very difficult for a court to make a judgment as to the veracity, the truthfulness of what you testify to, and to give any credence to what you testify to. You are asking me to believe you above two people who were working that evening, sober that evening, have a clear recollection, at least according to them, of what transpired that evening, as opposed to believing you who was so drunk they didn't know on which pole they were at.
Ma'am, I'm saying that they're lying about this whole thing, that he's saying that he didn't give me any more drinks after 7 o'clock at night. I was in there drinking heavily. I was having beer after beer, and they gave me way, way too many beers, in my opinion. I don't think that
How
that's
old are
right.
you?
I'm 41.
So is this what your complaint is, sir, that the bar overserved you?
Yes, ma'am, one thing. But I don't think that that should
Eric,
happen.
we started this case by my saying to you, do you have a drinking problem? And you said to me, I don't think so. Maybe a little. That's like being a little bit pregnant. You never have a little bit of a drinking problem, Lucky. Now, if you were 18 years old, I would say, I'm going to nail them, because a bar should know that a kid comes in and you don't serve a kid more alcohol than they can consume. When you're 41 years old, you're supposed to know how much alcohol you can consume and still have your wits about you. And according to you, you were warned. Don't go in there. There's always trouble in that bar. But when you were at this place twice before, according to you, you had no trouble. So they clearly didn't have it in for you for any reason.
I believe that they do have it in for me.
Explain that to me.
Because mainly there's just Mexicans in there, and they always call me white boy.
Lucky. Did they call you white boy on the 15th of July?
No.
Did they call you white boy the month before that when you went in there?
No.
You didn't change composition from July 15th to July 22nd, did you? You were drunk. Stop blaming the rest of the world. You were drunk. Either you fell, you got beaten up, you don't know who did it, your car got trashed, you don't know who did that. You have to accept responsibility for your own behavior. If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. Nobody. You managed to do that all by yourself. If you had gotten into your car and killed somebody on the way home, I would take every piece of property that this lady had.
Which someday will happen.
Just a second. I would take every piece of property that this lady had, because Under those circumstances, both of you would be responsible. I take every bit of property you had, and I take every bit of property she had, because somebody who was innocent got killed. The only one that got hurt that night was you. And you caused that yourself. So deal with it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They're lying. No, I don't have a gun.
He threatened me. He pounded his fist on the bar.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Started harassing the female customers.
I don't know if it was the bartender, but a lot of people, they beat me up.
Threatening people who were trying to help.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Suda, Frazier versus Hebb. Step forward, please.
18-year-old student Nikki Frazier and guardian Sam Suter are suing Nikki's mother, Stacy Hebb, for child support costs. Nikki says her mom won't turn over child support she receives from her father.
Mr. Suter, your complaint is that you and your family were nothing but kind to the defendant. She was having some difficulty, and she was unemployed several years ago. Her daughter and your daughter were friends since grade school, and you volunteered to give her a home.
Yes, ma'am.
When she was 16. How did you do in their home, the Suter home? Did you do okay?
Yes.
Did you graduate yet?
Oh, I graduate in a couple weeks.
What are you doing after graduation?
I want to go to college.
How did you do in high school?
I make good grades.
She's been AB honor roll all through high school.
Did you apply to college?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because the application fees are like $50 for each application, and my mom told me she'd help me pay for them, but she never helped me pay for it.
So, Mr. Suter, this is your lawsuit. Ms. Fraser lived with you for 2 years, and you got no support for her from her mother. You did not even seek support.
No, ma'am.
But then you found out that Ms. Hebb was getting support for Nikki from Nikki's father, and you feel as if that's unfair.
Somewhat, yes.
This is not rocket science, Ms. Hebb. How long have you been divorced from Nikki's father?
Since she was about 6 or 7.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the other children also the product of this marriage?
No, ma'am.
And how much do you receive from Nikki's father for her support?
$50 a week.
What did you do with the money since 2003?
When she has called and said that she didn't have any food in the house and she needed me to take her to eat, I would feed her. If she's needed personal hygiene items, I've taken her. I've paid her cell phone bills. And yes, I did tell her that I would pay for her application fees. She never came to me and said, I've applied here and
I'm not worried about college fees right now and application fees. How do you support yourself?
I'm a live-in nanny.
Do you think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
So that the things you bought for her, the few toiletries you bought for her, or paying a cell phone bill, you did that for your daughter because you're her mother. That's what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
The $50 a week that you were getting from her father should have gone to the Suter family.
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask? Did you ever say to him, Ms. Hebb, Mr. Suter, I get money for Nikki's support from her father. It's not right that I keep it. I'm going to turn it over to you when I get it.
No, ma'am, I didn't. I instead, like I said, whenever she would call and said that she needed things, I would take care of her.
Well, that's what you did for her because you're her mother. She has 2 parents, a mother and a father. You're the mother. You work. If you have to take care of a few items, if you happen to take care of a few items for your daughter, that's very nice of you. The other $50 a week, if her father knew that she wasn't living in your home, did your father know you weren't living?
He just found out recently because I didn't have his number to get a hold of him.
If her father knew, I guarantee you, her father wouldn't have said, well, I'm going to send her money.
Her father has known. She's gone and seen him since she's lived with Mr. Suter.
I'm just curious. Not that I'm taking this for the truth of what you're going to tell me, but just my own curiosity. Did he ever say to you, if he knew that she wasn't living with you, I'd like to send the money to Mr. Suter?
No, ma'am.
Never did?
No, ma'am.
He must have had a lobotomy. Ms. Hebb, this is not a difficult case. It doesn't even test my academic prowess. The last 2 years, your daughter has been living with the Suter family, and you've collected $50 a week, roughly $2,500 a year. The Suters are suing you for $5,000 because that's approximately what you've collected over the time that your daughter has been living with the Suters from her father, and that money should have been turned over to the Suter family immediately. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. That's all. Make those college applications now.
Parties are excused. You may step. Yeah, it's case number 264 on the calendar in the matter of Creatia versus Cruz.
Thank you.
How you doing, Judge?
Good.
Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. People have a seat.
Miss Creatia, the defendant is your current boyfriend, I assume this gentleman over here, your current boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. And they had a relationship, must have been for a while, because they have 2 children together. It is your complaint that Miss Cruz was in a snit about something, and when your boyfriend went over to her house to pick up or drop off the children, he was using your car, and she took out her frustrations on him by kicking your car and causing damage. Miss Cruz says she would never do such a thing, right?
Right.
When did this happen?
April 22nd.
You weren't there?
No.
But the boyfriend was there?
Yes.
And his name is?
Ben Mojica.
Mr. Mojica, would you stand up, please? Next to her. How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
7 and 6.
5.
How long did you and Miss Cruz live together?
It's about 10 or 11 years.
Never married?
No, ma'am.
How come?
Just didn't get married.
Couldn't afford to.
Shh. Did you ever ask her?
No.
Excuse.
What?
He was going to buy me a ring, but I told him not to bother, so.
Did you tell him not to bother after your first child or your second child?
After my second one, when I knew that things were going pretty much downhill.
You couldn't have a clue to that before you had children with him?
No, he was actually a pretty good guy at that time. He just seemed to have went down the tubes, going to jail, getting into things that I don't want around my children.
Who is this man?
My uncle.
Uncle. Just seems a little odd to me that life has changed so much over the last 20, 30 years. That people live together 10 or 11 years. They don't want to make a commitment to get married, but they don't feel as if having children is a commitment. Just something doesn't balance out to me, so I'm always interested in this as it's just a social experiment. Do you understand that, Ben?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so on the 22nd of April, what were you doing over at her house?
They were having a toy party.
What is that?
An adult party, like toys, dolls and things like that.
No, it's like lotions and stuff.
What?
Lotions, it's for adult, it's for...
An adult toy party. I shouldn't have gone any further. I thought it was a toy party for children. My mistake. Okay, so you were having an adult party.
Right. It's
okay,
not just
go ahead.
Well, I was with the kids, with Marcus and Tiaja. We were at Lori's house.
Who's Lori?
A friend of hers and mine. And Marcus and Tiaja were there with me. I had picked them up.
Your 2 children?
Yes, at the daycare earlier in the day. And I had called Tanya. Then she had informed me about they were having a little party, and her sister, Michelle, was down here from Hartford. And Michelle also has 2 children. And she just had one, so he wouldn't know anything really what was going on in the party. And Xavier would know. So she asked me, Ben, can you come and pick up Xavier?
Who asked you?
Michelle did.
That's her sister. So
yes,
her let's get to the story a little bit faster.
All right.
Sorry. So far you're doing fine, but we
Okay.
got to get there because I have other things to do.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so her sister said, can you come and pick
Yes,
up
can you come and
Xavier,
pick up
who is how
Xavier?
old?
About 11, I believe.
How old is Xavier?
He's 10.
10 or 11. You always quibble over a year. So
Okay.
they wanted you to come pick him up because the party was inappropriate for him.
Yes, for him.
Okay, so you went to pick him up?
So I went to pick him up, and Marcus and Tiaja were with me at Lori's at the time. Marcus was hungry, and I had just ordered Chinese food. And I told Erin and I told Lori, hey, you know, I'm gonna leave him. He's hungry. He'll just have something to eat. Can you watch him? She said, sure. I took Tiaja with me, which is my daughter.
She wasn't hungry?
No.
She's always hungry.
Don't do it again! You want to know why? Miss Cruz, because if I see that you can't control yourself in the courtroom, how am I going to believe you when you tell me that you wouldn't dare do what she says you did to her car, because you don't have a temper like that. You can control yourself, right? So far, it's been twice that you haven't been able to control yourself, or 3 times. You get me?
Yes.
Even your uncle gets me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Go ahead.
So when I pulled up to pick up Xavier, Tanya was outside and Michelle was outside with her baby that she just had. So she came out to show me. I'm real close with them and stuff. And when she came outside, I said, "Oh, Michelle, there's your new baby. I'm getting out of the car." And she kept asking me, "Where is my son? Ben, where is Marcus? Where the F is Marcus?" And I'm ignoring her because she gets loud and she's always doing that. And Tiaja, I look at Tiaja and I saw in her eyes, she was getting,
Right,
like,
because
what's
her mother
going
was
on?
acting inappropriately.
Yeah, so I said, "Tanya, relax. Why do you guys?" She goes, "No, where the F is my son? Pa, pa, pa." So I kept ignoring her, and I'm talking to Michelle. She said, "You want to ignore me?" Or I don't know if she chose those words or whatever. She went right around us and started kicking the car. And that's when I got off, obviously.
And?
There was people around, and I said, "You guys saw that, right? You guys saw what she just did, right? Right?" And everybody's like, all of a sudden, nobody saw anything except one kid. He saw it. And I have a police report.
I'd like to see the police report, please.
And he's
Can't control yourself?
He's a minor, Your Honor?
No,
Can't control yourself?
I'm just trying to,
You're
basically
trying
put my hand.
What do you think? You think that I'm not going to let you speak? Do you think that this is only a one-sided case, that only he gets to speak? You do know that both sides get to speak, right, Miss Cruz? In their turn. What's Uncle's name?
Vincent.
You get it, Vincent?
Yes, ma'am.
You get her, Vincent?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Because you're going to have to make a very important decision, Vincent, as to whether or not you want to speak later.
Okay.
Because you don't look like the kind of guy that wants to be humiliated.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There was a witness in the police report who indicates that they saw you kick the car.
I forgot to tell you. He says, "I'll pay somebody to say that she kicked the car."
And later today,
This has seriously been going on for a long time, threatening my child, threatening me. He shoved me into a wall and left me captive in the closet.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Erin Creatia says her boyfriend's ex, Tanya Cruz, vandalized her car by kicking it.
All right. Okay, Ms. Cruz, now it's your turn. Let's go to April 22nd, 2005. How many people were at the party?
At that point, there was probably about four.
Four
My
women?
sister, yes.
Where was Uncle Vincent?
He was not there.
So, Uncle Vincent saw nothing, is that right?
Right. But when I went outside, they were outside talking, I noticed that my son wasn't in the car. I asked him, you know, where's my son? He ignored me, where's my son? In which he had told my brother she looked so good that I couldn't look at her. That was in his words. After he ignored me, I said, Tiaja, get out of the car, go get my son, bring him back.
Why did you do that?
Because he had just came back from Florida. For 2 years, he hasn't seen his children. So why are you going to leave your kids behind? And my daughter not being hungry, she's hungry all the time, but that's irrelevant. So I told my daughter to come in with me. We went in. He has a very bad temper, so I know not to provoke him. We went inside the house. He started swearing and, you know, saying derogatory comments, in which I shut the door because I had company. I thought that was over with. I sat there, I got a knock on the door. The cops came. They know him very well. They ended up asking him to leave the premises. And 3 months later, I get court papers in the mail.
He made the police report that day, and there was a witness in the police report who indicates that they saw you kick the car.
I forgot to tell you. He says, I'll pay somebody to say that she kicked the car.
Ridiculous.
Is there anything that Uncle Vincent is going to tell me? No, he's just here for moral support.
Right. Perfect. Pretty much the women that were at my house are single working moms. And
well, they're single working moms, but you were having a party at your house, the subject matter of which was inappropriate for children.
Right.
And you had a 10-year-old child there.
No, my sister had called, and they got along.
She didn't call.
Yeah,
he called your house.
No, she had called him.
So she had called him to please come over and pick up her son?
Well, she had said, come see my nephew. You know, he's still a baby.
Sounds as if your family doesn't dislike him as much as you do.
No, we actually, they get along with him.
Good. Can I see the estimate, please, on the car? And this was your car?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz, I don't believe you. I believe you have a hot temper, and I believe you went out there and gave the car a good kick because he ignored you. And I believe that you walked outside the house and you said exactly what he said you said.
I interrupted a couple times because he takes a long time to tell.
Listen to me. What I'm telling you is I believe him and I don't believe you. I believe that you kicked the car because you were frustrated and annoyed that he wouldn't respond to you.
I was upset.
Oh, I know that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $894. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Actually, he's got, the dirty mouth, and he tells me, well, I'm going to talk to the kids the way I'm going to talk to them.
I knew that she'd see through Tanya's lies.
He had a drug habit, and, he had to change his lifestyle.
Yes, I did have a drug habit, but I want to change my life. As you can see, being with her, that's, who wouldn't have a drug habit?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aiken versus Smith. Step forward.
20-year-old Robert Aiken is suing his ex-fiancée, 22-year-old Cheryl Smith, for unpaid bills and late fees. Cheryl claims Robert is obsessed with her.
Mr. Aiken, Miss Smith was your fiancée for a period of time. I assume you lived together for a period of time. And it is your claim that you put some money into her checking account in order to pay some bills.
Correct.
You broke up, and she put a stop payment on the bills you had paid. What was this, electronically done?
Yeah, she did it online. She stopped all payments.
I don't understand how you do that. I like that little checkbook. You write it out, you deposit it. I don't understand the online stuff, but you want that money back.
Correct.
Ms. Smith said nothing could be farther from the truth. You put money into the account. You did pay bills with the money you put into the account. You started to pay some more bills with money that you hadn't put into the account, so she put a stop payment on those bills. She has a counterclaim. She says that at some point immediately preceding your breaking up, she covered the entire rent because you were short, so that you owe her for rent. And in addition, and more importantly, she says that since the breakup, you've been involved in some serious harassment. So the money part should be relatively easy. How much money did you put into her account?
Total, two checks of $420 and $316.84, so $736.84.
When?
The $420 was put in on August 12th, and the $316.84 was put in August 11th.
When had you covered the rent, Ms. Smith?
I wrote the check on August 1st.
And how much was the rent?
$662.70.
Was it your responsibility to pay the rent?
We both paid the rent. It was joint money.
Immediately prior to the 11th of August, when did you make your preceding deposit in her bank account?
I would give her cash when I got my check because she was writing all the checks for bills. So I would just cash and stuff of that nature. I have no proof of it. Sorry. I'm a hand person.
Now, he put in the $736. What bills did he pay with it?
Well, my counterclaim is I have bills that total $548.44 that I paid for him, in addition to the rent for $662.70.
It wasn't like a split right down the middle. We were
Well,
just
it should be. It's all sounding very good for Miss Smith, Mr. Aiken. What I want to know is, did she make payments for you in the amount of $548? To whom?
She made certain bills.
To whom?
There was a $200 payment to his father.
That was to your father.
That's correct.
What do you owe him money?
A car payment. It's in his name.
Go ahead.
$63.94 for his Comcast bill.
Uh-huh.
I also have penalties in which I was charged in order to stop the 3 payments that he was unauthorized to make.
Just a second. I want to know what the payments were that you made, not the fees. The payments were that you made.
Then without the penalties, there were bills totaling $196 made prior.
Made prior to when?
Prior to August 1st for him.
Forget it. You paid $263 that you can account for, not $548. You know, you look like butter would melt in her mouth. You know, you keep turning it around, she becomes a more interesting character. 736 minus 263, $473. That's what's left over. Now, we're going to say that he owes you half for the rent, because that's part of your counterclaim. So we're going to take off $330 from that. $143 you owe him. You got it?
Now, what about the payments that she stopped, though?
Good, she stopped them. Good, she should stop them. $143. Gets expensive when you play house. Now I want to hear about the harassment, because that troubled me. You say that he called you over 100 times in a short period of time?
That is correct.
Let me see. Why do you keep calling her, Mr. Aiken?
There were different occasions equaling up to it. I was trying to call her in the beginning to try to get some of the money without going into court. And then from time to time, she would be like, okay, well, I'll pay you something. And she'd be like, well, let's meet up here. And say at 1 o'clock, it'd be like 1:30, 2 o'clock, so I'd call her. She'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. So it's just different phone calls basically trying to resolve this money issue.
Well, but I'm looking at it.
It's just continuous.
For instance, I'm looking on the 23rd of August, one right after another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 calls, one right after another.
That would just, as far as that was
Were
just...
you leaving messages on her machine?
No, I didn't leave voicemails. I left, I think, maybe one voicemail. The rest were she'd pick up the phone and then she'd hang it up and I'd try to get back to her and talk to her, trying to...
She doesn't want to talk to you.
I understand that.
Well, but when do you start getting that message, Mr. Rakin, that she doesn't want to talk to you? If, according to you, she picks up the phone and hangs up, she doesn't want to talk to you.
I was just trying to get money, like I said, with these bills,
You
the credit
kept
cards
annoying
and
her.
cell phones. When the payments got stopped, they shut off the cell phone.
Her. Since August, have there been any further calls?
Not since the personal protection order was issued.
Okay, do you have a copy of that?
Absolutely.
Let me see. Was it a permanent order or a temporary order?
It holds for 1 year.
So you consented to this, sir?
Yeah.
Well, if you consented to it, of necessity, the judge had to say to you, you're entitled to a trial, right?
Yeah, we showed up and had a hearing.
Oh, you had a hearing, so the judge found you guilty of harassing her.
Yeah, I told him the story and I told him the phone calls and he gave it to me.
Okay, but after that you stopped.
Yeah, I have not contacted her since.
Anything else you want to tell me about your counterclaim, Ms. Smith?
Yes. As far as for the harassment, this has seriously been going on for a long time. Numerous phone calls and numerous times showing up at my place of employment, numerous times threatening my child, numerous times threatening me. He's physically assaulted me.
After he physically assaulted you, did you remain in the relationship?
No.
When, according to you, was the first time that he physically became violent with you?
On August 7th.
So that was about the time that you were breaking up?
That is correct.
Okay, so this wasn't a history, as you indicated?
No.
Fine. And what did he do to you on the 7th?
On the 7th, he shoved me into a wall and left me captive in the closet of our apartment until I had talked to him.
I don't understand that.
Our closet is a small room. I was in there actually packing some clothes, and he stood in the doorway and refused to allow me to leave.
So he kept you captive there?
Correct.
Because he wanted to talk to you?
Correct.
He's over it. You get over it. He's finished, right?
Correct.
Going to stay away from her? Going to get you $148?
Correct.
Leave her alone?
Without question.
You made a bad choice. Put a period. Move on. Counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 241 on the calendar in the matter of Taylor versus Hickman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. Taylor, according to what I read in your complaint, you and the defendant were friends. There came a time, you're going to tell me about that time, when you lost your driver's license and you needed a car, you needed transportation. So you made an arrangement with Miss Hickman that you would purchase a car. The car would be titled in Miss Hickman's name. You would also pay for the insurance, with the understanding that she would take you to do your chores, take your children wherever they had to go. It is your complaint that subsequently you had a falling out and she stole your car. Ms. Hickman says nothing could be farther from the truth. It was her car. It was always her car. And when you came to pick up the car because of something that had to do with a boyfriend, you were so angry that you couldn't get the car that you smashed all of the windows in the car, and she has a counterclaim. When was this car purchased?
It was purchased on July 27th, 2005.
And what was the purchase price?
$4,000.
Where did you buy it?
We looked in the Penny Saver, and it was bought through somebody at a house, and then it was bought under AMN Auto.
Who went to look at the car?
Me and Nicole Hickman.
Why did you lose your driver's license?
For DUI.
How many DUIs?
I've been convicted of one. I was arrested for one previous, but I wasn't convicted.
Do you have your license reinstated at this point?
It'll be reinstated the day I get back to Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm eligible.
Who put down the down payment on the car?
I paid for the car in full, in cash.
Do you have any proof of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You looked for a car together?
Right.
Why?
Okay, I had a 98 Contour that she had gave me a couple years back when she had lost her driver's license for the DUI.
Just a minute. When you say she gave it to you as a gift?
Yes.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Well, this would be helpful to you. It shows what a nice person you are.
The car was wrecked, and it wasn't in the best condition. However, I made an agreement with her that she paid for it to get out of impound, because I already purchased another car before this. I purchased an '89 Buick, and I did give her the title because she is my friend.
Okay. So you gave her the car?
For $250, and she was supposed to pay me $250 more.
Okay, but she didn't.
Over favors and stuff, we wrote that off.
Okay, go.
Okay, so the transmission on the car went out. Now, previous to her having the baby, Michaela, I had drove her around to doctor's appointments, wherever she needed to go, basically, which I had for years. I was going to get the transmission on the Contour fixed. We started looking at cars because I was going to go ahead and put... Okay. I was going to go ahead and put the money that I had for the transmission on my car, which was $1,500 at the time, towards a new vehicle, which she was like, you know, why don't you just get something new? We were going to get a place together. She was my girlfriend. She wasn't my friend.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Shh. Go.
Okay, we looked in the penny saver. I found a Malibu. I had wanted a Malibu for a while since my friend here had purchased one. I liked them. I test drove the car. I only had $2,000 at the time for the car. Shelly told me that she would go ahead and give me the rest of the money. She had just received a $30,000 settlement from a previous lawsuit that she had against an insurance company, and said that she would pay the remainder that I didn't have for the car. We were going to move in together. It would be my car, but it would get her around as well, and her kids. It was going to be like the family car. And that's what happened.
Show me proof that you paid $2,000 towards the car.
I don't have a proof that I gave her anything because I gave it to her in cash, but all I have is like my pawn slip where I pawned my necklace to get the Contour fixed, and I have forms of unemployment that I had. I know it's not proof that I gave her any money.
It isn't.
You're right.
All right, so we have proof and we have no proof.
I paid for the car in cash.
You don't have any proof.
I have a bill of sale.
No, the bill of sale said that you purchased the car.
Yeah.
So that you could register it. I understand. Okay. Who's Shelley Taylor? Who's Linda Taylor?
That's my mother.
So your mother gave you a $4,000 check?
Yes, ma'am.
So this check is not made out to the person who sold the car?
No, ma'am. They wanted cash.
Can I say something to that?
Got it. I got it. Now I got it. So you have this much proof. She has no proof. Good. Now, so what happened?
I got the car registered. She paid for my insurance. We went to a lady that she knew.
Okay, she paid the insurance.
That's right.
How much was the insurance?
Ma'am, it was $668.
So far you paid $2,668 according to you.
That's right.
Not according to her, but according to you.
That's right.
She paid for more than half of the amount necessary to get this car on the road, despite the fact that the car was titled in your name.
Right, but it wasn't...
Just the facts, ma'am.
Okay.
So far, she paid for more than half to get this car on the road.
Okay.
Despite the fact that it's titled in your name, because she can't have a car titled in her name because she has no driver's license and
Florida,
she can't get
can.
insurance. I'm speaking.
Sorry.
In what month did you two have a falling out?
On August 10th, according to her paperwork, which I'm not sure the exact date. I have a police report. She left her son with me on the 9th. I guess from what I found out, her ex-boyfriend that she had just had a baby with was getting out of jail, which I did not know because I was under the understanding that me and her were together.
Don't tell me what your understanding was.
Okay. So the old man gets out of jail. She leaves all night long with the car. I call her the next day. I have her son. Okay, I call her to get the car.
Did you take the car that day?
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Where was the car?
It was parked at my parents' house.
Just a second. You didn't use the car? Boyfriend
No,
didn't use the car?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Next.
So the next day, she comes to my house and gets her son in the car. I tell her that I need the car. She says no, that she is not giving me the car back. She took it to...
Who was driving?
She was driving.
No license?
That's right.
Got it. Go.
So she took the car and went to her mom. She took off before I even came down the stairs to even know what was going on. She grabbed her son, half of his things, left his shoes, everything, took the car, went to her mom's house. I called her. She said that her boyfriend was out, Ryan, they were getting back together, and she said that I wasn't getting the car back. So I went over there and with the police, well, not with the police at first, I just went to get the car. She came out with a hammer, started beating the car with a hammer. Her neighbors called the police. The cops came. They had made me tow the car because she took my registration.
Let me see the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did you smash the car?
I was just so frustrated, Your Honor. I lost my temper.
Ever been involved with the police for losing your temper?
Yes.
And later today,
This boy's been a guest in our home. I didn't expect him to lie to me.
Nobody lied to you, madam.
He did. He did not tell me that this
Just
vehicle
a second.
had a salvage title.
Nobody lied to you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shelley Taylor says, former friend Nicole Hickman owes for the return of a 1999 Chevy Malibu. Nicole is countersuing, claiming Shelley vandalized the vehicle.
You think the police tell the truth?
Yes.
You think that they are trained to do adequate reporting so that all the facts are contained in a police report?
No.
Well, they are. And according to the police, Ms. Hickman, you advised the police that the two of you bought the car together, you giving $1,500 towards the car, and the plaintiff giving $2,500 towards the car.
Mm-hmm.
Shh. I didn't ask a question yet. So you told me a moment ago that you put in $2,000.
I did.
Well, were you telling me the truth or were you telling the police the truth?
I'm not sure if the police was going by her information
No,
or
the
mine.
police said, listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. N. Hickman, that would be you.
That's right.
Advised, that means said, told, conveyed, indicated. That means they were speaking to you. That the two bought the vehicle together. N. Hickman, that would be you, giving $1,500, and S. Taylor giving $2,500. So I'm going to get back to my question. Were you telling me the truth when you said that you gave $2,000 towards the car, or were you telling the police the truth?
I was telling you the police. I paid.
You were telling you the police?
No,
What
I was
does that
telling you
mean?
the right. I paid $2,000 for
So
the
you
car,
were telling
ma'am.
me the truth
That's
and
right.
you lied to the police?
I guess if that's what it says.
Yeah, that's what it says. Your proof is getting better.
Thank you.
Because according to the police, the purchase date was the 28th of July, and your check from your mother to you was the 27th of July for $4,000. And one of the things you both agree on was that the purchase price of the car was $4,000.
That's right.
And you have no proof that you gave her either $1,500 or $2,000.
No, I
Is
don't.
that right?
That's right.
Good. It's getting better. Okay. Now, let's come back to you. Naughty, naughty. One should not have lost their temper. Why did you smash the car?
It was out of frustration because I've been friends with Nicole Hickman for over 6 years, and she put the trust in me that I could trust her, that we could do this together so I could have reliable transportation, and she completely broke my trust. She brought the police to my house and said I stole her vehicle. I was just so frustrated, Your Honor. I lost my temper.
Don't lose your temper. Have you ever lost your temper before?
Yes, ma'am.
Ever been involved with the police for losing your temper?
With my DUI.
So it was a DUI and you got into an altercation with the police?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 children, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
How old are your children?
3 years old and 2 months old.
And what was the father of this baby doing in jail?
Possession of crack cocaine, driving without a license. It was his first time seeing his newborn child. We are not together. He's incarcerated again, so I don't have to deal with him.
Miss Taylor, you're 24 years old, and so far what you've indicated to me is you're a 24-year-old with very lousy judgment.
Yes, Your Honor.
And until you grow up, I suggest you not have any more children.
I'm
and
not.
concentrate on the 2 that you have. And don't bring any bums into their life. You know, if you're going to be a bum magnet, that's your problem. But if you have children, you have to treat the children a little more carefully. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay. Where's the car now?
It's in my possession. I have the title for it, everything. It's my car.
Good. Give it to me.
I also have information here that shows how many people she sued. I mean, this is something that she does.
Listen to me. I don't care how many people she sued, madam.
Okay.
I find that you have absolutely no stake in this car. You paid absolutely nothing towards this car. This is a copy of the title.
That's right.
Did you figure out how much it's going to cost to get the car fixed?
The estimate is $1,729.
Listen to me. Court will enter an order that the Department of Motor Vehicles is to transfer title to the car in your name. Do you
Thank
understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a copy, so I can't have her sign it.
Okay.
And I'm entering a judgment on your behalf in the amount of the car if she does not turn the car over to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the damage to the car that you caused was $1,700.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to eat that.
She had got a check from her insurance company already to fix the car.
Let me see.
I get a check?
From the
I haven't
insurance
received the check.
Payment was $1,229.
I got a stub that says that I am allowed to take the vehicle and get it fixed.
Oh, fine. You turn that over to her. Good.
No,
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
I'm not giving the car back.
I'm not getting my car back?
Yes, you're getting it
She
back.
just said that, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, you are.
Thank you.
She just said that she was going back to her baby's father, and that was, next thing I know, I'm getting sued.
She was supposed to be my friend, and we had a verbal agreement.
She was just chasing me with the hammer, and then she turned around and started hitting my car with the hammer.
She's going to write a fiction book one day, and that's going to be her career, because all she does is lie.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Johnson versus Venable. Step forward, please.
18-year-old Lawrence Johnson is suing the mother of his former friend, Tina Venable, for the balance on a Toyota 4Runner. Tina says Lawrence sold her a salvaged vehicle.
All right, Mr. Johnson, this is your complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
You sold Mrs. Venable a 4Runner truck that you had used throughout high school to get to and from school, and you sold her that for her son.
Yeah.
Who you knew throughout high school.
Yeah, for a couple of years I did.
How much did you sell her the truck for?
$2,500.
And Miss Venable doesn't deny that. Is that right?
That's correct.
But then you didn't listen to your parents, because your parents said to you, when you sell a car, you get paid.
Unfortunately, yes, ma'am.
And what you did was you agreed to accept payments on this truck.
Yes, ma'am.
A down payment of how much, Miss Venable?
I only had $200 cash that night when he came to the house.
So you gave him the $200 in cash and agreed to make payments in what amount?
$300 for the month of June, $400 July, and the balance in August.
Step up, please. Tell me your first name.
Trevor.
Trevor, had you seen Mr. Johnson driving this 4Runner in school?
Yes, I have.
Had you ever been in the 4Runner?
Yes.
What day did you take possession of the truck?
May 15th. We actually rode in it together that day.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Did you drive it to your house?
I drove him home, actually.
But the truck was driven to your house so that your mother had the opportunity to see it.
Of course, yes.
Did she look at it?
Yes, she looked at it through the window.
Nobody prevented her from coming down and driving in it.
No, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do, Miss Venable?
I work for an automotive dealership.
What do you do for the automotive dealership?
I'm in sales.
So you know, if you're in sales, if you want to buy a used car, you take a ride in it.
Correct.
You didn't?
No, I had reasonable expectation, him being an acquaintance of the family, that it would be as he said.
Really?
I did.
Well, it was as he said, madam. He drove the car in school for 2 years. Not something he purchased and then pawned off on your son, because your complaint is that your son had an accident in the car and totaled it. When?
June 13th.
So between May 15th and June 13th, who had possession of the car?
I did.
Who drove the car?
I did.
Tell me about the accident.
I was going camping in the mountains, and I was coming to a corner, and I slowed down, and the wheels locked up, and I slid off the side of the road and rolled.
So you didn't pay him the rest of the car. You say that the car had been damaged.
It was the first opportunity that he had to drive the car other than at city speeds, to school and back. It was the first time it had been on a curvy mountain road.
With off-road tires.
Just a second. Why do you think that you don't have to pay him the balance of this car?
Because he knew that this vehicle was damaged. He knew it was a junk title, should have never been rebuilt, and he sold it to me and didn't tell me, didn't disclose that.
Just 1 second. He drove the car for 2 years. Your son drove it for 30 days.
This boy's been a guest in our home. I didn't expect him to lie to me.
Nobody lied to you, madam.
He did. He did not tell me that this
Just
vehicle
a second.
had a salvage title.
Nobody lied to you. Did you ask him?
I did.
When you leaned out the window, what did you say to him?
I looked out the window. He didn't show up until almost midnight.
He came with your son.
I'm just saying, it was almost
Miss
midnight.
Venable,
I was not
start
prepared.
taking responsibility for your own behavior. If
Certainly.
you wanted to have the car inspected by somebody who was unbiased, take it to your own shop where you work. Say, listen, take a look at this car. And aside from that, if what you're complaining about was that the car was rebuilt, was it rebuilt by you?
No, ma'am.
Was it rebuilt by somebody else?
I believe so now, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you drove it
Yes, ma'am.
with no trouble.
Yes, and
For 2 years.
I actually had it inspected twice before I started driving the car, and I had repairs done to it before I started driving it, and I had no troubles.
Maybe your son wasn't giving you the honest scoop about slowing down at the end of the road. Now, if you wanted to find out that this truck had been rebuilt, which I assume it says on the title, is that right? I'm asking you a question. Does it say that on the title?
The title was clean. It wasn't until I ran a Carfax that I have a copy of here that shows that the vehicle was salvaged and that it was a
Good.
junk
Now,
title.
let me ask you a question. When did you do that?
After the police and the record driver told me that the vehicle there was another reason for the wreck.
Listen to me. Could you have done that before you bought it?
I suppose I could have. But
you're absolutely right. That's what you should. Listen to me. That's what you should have done before you bought it. You chose not to do that. And I am choosing not to say that this young man, knowing that there was a potentially dangerous situation with this car, sold it to you. Because when you buy a used car, it's your responsibility to see to it that it is appropriately inspected and not complain later, especially 30 days later when your son goes on a camping trip and totals the car. How much does she owe you on the car?
$2,300, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,300. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 275 on the calendar in the matter of Glenn versus Chavez. Parties have been
Thank
sworn
you.
in. You're welcome. You may be seated.
Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you ask the young man to wait outside until we're ready for him?
Sure.
If ever.
Come on.
Just wait.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mr. Glenn, according to your complaint, you rented a room from Mrs. Chavez with your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And you claim that she unlawfully locked you out of the apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
You suffered damages as a result of this unlawful eviction. You want returned your rent, a deposit, your moving expenses, and punitive damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Chavez says that she never locked you out of the apartment. You left, and she is counterclaiming for a variety of things: stolen property, damage to the apartment, and sexual battery, which she will explain to me. When did you rent this room, and why were you looking for a room?
My son and I were living in an environment that I felt was unacceptable for him. My work hours are late, and I wanted somewhere where I could consider him home at 12 years old. So I responded to an ad for a room for rent in a beautiful home, and I quote to you, cable, DSL, nice neighborhood. And I met Elena with my wife, and I told her that...
Were you and your wife living together?
No, at the time, no. I went through 17 months of self-employment and financial problems prerequisited her to move in with her parents and myself and my 12-year-old son to move into a smaller residence. We had a condo.
Your son is not the product of this marriage?
No, ma'am.
So you were separated from your wife at the time?
Yes. And we left and had a good conversation with Elena the first time I met her. And
when was that?
That was, I think, late May of this year.
When did you move into the room?
June...
About June 28th.
June 28th or something to that effect. She may have documents to...
Is that right? When did he move in?
He moved in July 2nd.
Do you have a lease?
Yes, ma'am.
I can see it, please.
This is for the first room, and this is for the second room.
How many rooms were there?
There were two. The first one, the 28th, the second, I mean, it's 4 days difference. When I had the conversation with Lynn and my wife concerning the potential rental, and my wife and I spoke about it, we thought it was a good idea, but I didn't have the capital. She wanted a month's rent and a month's rent for deposit. So I approached her again some days later and asked her if she'd be willing to rent to me with just the rent up front, and then we can make payments or something for the deposit. She hesitated not 1 second, absolutely. So my son and I, we moved into a small room that was very small, but it accommodated us. Nice house. We went into the other room after the fact. It was a much larger master bedroom. So
okay, how much was the rent on the second room?
$800 per month.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So you were in the second room, $800 per month, on or about the beginning of July, and you paid her how much?
She probably has receipts for that effect also. 7 something and...
Mr. Glenn, you knew you were coming to court today.
Right. My stuff is all over the place in storage and everywhere because of this.
Mr.
So.
Glenn, that's not my problem. That's your problem. You know you're coming to court. If your stuff is all over and you're talking about a couple of months ago, you get it. You get it together so that you have it.
I apologize.
Ms. Chavez, how much did he pay you when he moved in the beginning of July?
When he moved in the beginning of July, he gave me $600. The last payment he gave me to complete that was $200, supposedly $200, but he only gave me $150 of it, lacking $50.
Oh, $750 you received from him the entire month of July, and what was owing on that room was $800 for the rent. Is that right?
I agree with that.
What about the security deposit? How much did you receive for security deposit?
He never paid that, Your Honor.
Is that correct, sir?
Not during the month of July.
That's what I'm asking you. So the month of July, you never paid for the security deposit.
No, ma'am.
And you were $50 short on rent.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
let's get
So-
to August.
Okay.
How much did he pay you for the entire month of August?
$770.
So for the entire month of August, you were $30 short in rent, correct, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And how much did he pay towards the security deposit?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Is that correct, sir?
No, ma'am. And
How much did you pay towards the security deposit in August?
in the month of August, I paid $80 to her on the 26th, and I think I paid her $172 or something down to my penny in the 1st of August. So it's about $250 and 20 cents, roughly. For deposit.
And an additional $770 for
For rent.
For rent.
Right.
Yes.
That's not true. I give him receipts when he's giving me money, and
She gives me receipts like this sometimes also.
Just a second. In any event, there came a time, according to you, take your hands off your hips.
Yes, ma'am.
Came a time, according to you, in the month of August, that you told her you were leaving.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you tell her you were leaving?
August the 26th, I was paid by a side job that I did. I'm an auto mechanic, fixed her car a few times, and said, Elena, let me give you $80, towards my rent, because I'm going to be about $80 short. She took the cash money and she put it in her pocket, and she said, Tim, I can't put that towards the rent. That's got to go towards the deposit. And I said, okay, understandably so, but if you do that right now, I won't have the rent complete on the 1st. And she goes, it's not my problem. I don't have nothing to do with it. So I told her, I'm going to move out on the 1st. I'll make other arrangements, okay? That was Saturday the 26th, I believe it was.
Okay.
Sunday, we go to court, my son and court. We went to church, and when we walked out of church, I turned my cell phone on and I received a voicemail from Elena, and I can't quote you exactly, but the gist of the thing was I've been crunching some numbers, and you owe me $290 right now, she told me, and until I get that money, you will not get back in the house, and you will have to take me to court for your property. This is the day before school starts, and I have a 12-year-old boy, all right? So I called her based on that voicemail, and I said, do you want to call the sheriff, or do you want me to call the sheriff, because I've paid you all the rent for this month. I gave her $80.
Well, you hadn't. You were still shy. But she is still required to go to court to evict you.
So she says, okay, you know what? You call them if you want to. So I call the sheriff. 40 minutes later, they show up. I take my cell phone out. I play the voicemail for the sheriff. She said in the voicemail, until you pay me the money, you're not getting your stuff. The sheriff said, I can't touch this. But if you want to go knock on the door, I'll stand there to effect the peace, okay? So I approach the door and I knock very lightly. Okay, there are people there, and Justin's mom was there also. He's one of the witnesses for her. And no one answers the door. The sheriff then decides to knock on the door herself, somewhat louder. Okay, we know we've gotten attention at this point. No one will answer the door. Then the sheriff decides to take the flashlight. Knock, knock, knock. She's getting angry, the female deputy, all right? We see Elena through the door window go upstairs quickly, and she won't answer. Sometime later, Elena comes to the window and says, who is it that's knocking at my door? And she said, this is the sheriff's department, ma'am, I need to speak to you. And she said, go ahead. And she said, I need you to come to the door. And she goes, I'm not going to open the door for him. And she said, why not? And she said, because he owes me money. And the sheriff's department said, do you have an eviction papers? Do you have anything like that you can show me? And she goes, no, but he owes me money and I'm not letting him until he pays. Justin's mom comes to the door to come outside of the house, and she walks out. When she does, the deputy puts her foot in the front door. And Elena tried to close the door on the deputy. And the deputy said, I'm not having that. And she bowled her way into the house. I think you'll get a chance.
Do you think I need help?
I'm sorry. You have to understand what I've been through. I apologize.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He proceeded to move his hips left to right with such force that his genitalia made slapping sounds, and he laughed about it.
Miss Chavez, you're full of baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Timothy Glenn says ex-landlord Elena Chavez owes for an illegal eviction. Elena is countersuing for a security deposit, the return of property, and sexual battery.
Go ahead.
This is unbelievable. The deputy then forced their way into the house, at which point Elena became completely irate. Just unbelievable. She almost sat on the ground going nuts. She told them I stole money from her. She told them that I broke her gate and that I exposed myself to her and her 2 children. All right? At this point, I thought about it for a moment and I said, I don't even want back in this house because I can't leave my boy here. Who knows what she's going to do?
Do you have a police report?
They did not make a police report.
The answer is you don't.
No, they didn't. Here's the case number if you want to call them and verify.
Do you have a police report? I'd like to see it, please.
Okay.
You see what they both have.
So the watch commander looked at me and he goes, do you want to be here? And I said, no, but I want my stuff. And he goes, well, go get your stuff. So I went upstairs and started to get my stuff. And the whole time I've got my cell phone on, my wife is listening to it on speakerphone the whole time. And the watch commander said, "Can you prove this to me, what you just said?" And she goes, "Yes, I can." She goes, "Justin, Alex," and that's these two guys here. And they come downstairs with their hands in their pockets looking at the ground. And he goes, "This woman says that he exposed himself to her and her kids. Can you testify to that?" And Justin and Alex both looked at him and went, "Nope." And he said, "Ma'am, I don't want to hear anything else from you. I want you to sit down and let him get his stuff." And I left.
And did you get your stuff?
I got all of it, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And as I left, I gave Justin, in the presence of Kareem, everything that belonged to Elena, the wireless modem, the stereo pieces, the leather jacket I still owed money on, even some chairs that belonged to another
What
renter.
leather jacket that you still?
A leather jacket I was buying from her. I gave her $10 out of 50, and I had forgotten it in my closet, but as I was moving, I saw it. In his presence, I gave everything that belonged to her to him. And if I still have anything else, it's because I forgot it. I'm not taking nothing from her.
Put your hands down. Put your hands down.
This is just unbelievable.
So I have a few direct questions to ask you, Ms. Chavez. Did you leave a message on Mr. Glenn's cell phone on or about the 26th of August?
No, it was on the 28th, Sunday 28th.
And what did you say in the message on his cell phone?
That he needed to pay at least the $290 and that I wasn't going to open the door. He doesn't have keys because he lost them. And I told him, "I'm tired of being your door person." He's broken my gate trying to get over the gate to get into back to get in the house.
Well,
And I told
listen, I asked you what you said
that he
on
needed
the
to
voice.
pay that to get in the house and that I wasn't going to open the door if he wanted to come in.
Listen to me. You cannot do that. You cannot lock him out. You cannot prevent him from entering. That's an illegal eviction. You cannot do that.
I wasn't
now,
doing
yes, you were. Ms.
Your
Chavez,
Honor.
you absolutely were.
I didn't change the locks.
I don't care whether
I
you
didn't do
changed the locks.
anything.
Listen to me. I read the police.
If he went and got his keys, he could have come in.
I'm speaking. You were home when the police came to your door.
Yes, I was.
You refused initially to open the door for the police.
For him. The police had to open
Ms. Chavez! You refused to open the door for the police. You cannot do that. Now, when the police finally were able to gain entrance to your house and speak to you, what was the first thing that you said to them?
I said I would let her in, but not him. And she said, "Fine, I just want to come in." So she came in, and we started talking. And she asked me what was going on, and I explained it to her. And
what did you tell her? The first thing that you told the police officer as to why you weren't letting him in your house?
Because he owed money, and I was trying to make an attempt to get him to pay some of it.
Okay. Now we're going to get to your counterclaim. Take your hands out of your pockets.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Your counterclaim is that A, he owes you for rent. B, he stole property from your house. You were unclear in your answer as to what property he stole. You want to tell me now?
Yes, he took with him 2 towels, a rug, a VCR that I had loaned him. He never returned it. The cable transformers and the modem key that was given to him by charter. He never returned those things.
Okay. Do you have any of those things?
Everything I thought was hers I gave to Justin, but I'm willing to look in my stores and see if I have the VCR still. I mean, you can buy a brand new 4-head stereo VCR for $20 at Walmart, right?
I got it. Okay, so that's a lot of baloney. It sounded like a lot of baloney to me because it wasn't even listed in your answer. But what you want the most for is you claim a sexual battery.
Yes.
You want to tell me about that, Ms. Chavez?
Timothy Glenn claims he was illegally evicted by former landlord Elena Chavez. Elena claims Timothy committed lewd acts.
Now, you claim a sexual battery.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The first time it happened was about the 3rd week of July. We were in the kitchen, my roommates, Alex, Justin, and we were proceeding to have lunch. Everybody fixes their own thing. And he came in, and he's very, happy, smiley guy. And he started talking about how easy it is for him to get women. And he proceeded to move his hips left to right with such force that his genitalia made slapping sounds, and he laughed about it.
Oh, my.
And I was like, totally grossed out, and I told him that it wasn't funny because he was laughing. He thinks it's funny.
What else, Ms. Chavez?
And other occasions he's done it before. He's
Ms. Chavez, you know you're full of baloney.
Yeah. I'm not.
Hey, quiet. You want to go to the theater? Go to a movie. It's a court.
He did this, okay?
Listen to me. If he did it, and if you were so offended by it that you wanted to terminate his lease, I'm speaking. You give him 30 days notice in July, which is when you say this happened and say, I cannot have that kind of behavior in my home. You chose not to do that. So I cannot believe I'm speaking. So close your mouth, put on your listening ears. You chose not to do that. What you chose to do was to allow him to stay there and then illegally lock him out. And when push came to shove, you resurrected this baloney to justify your illegal activity. And what I'm telling you is, you cannot do that. And it's a terrible thing to say about somebody, especially somebody who is the custodian of a child, especially that. Put your hand down.
Honor, I am.
Put your hand down. In addition,
in front of them, and not more than once.
Listen to me. You had an option. Your option was, I'm speaking. It's irrelevant that you spoke to him. If the conduct was so offensive to you, you give him a 30-day notice, which is your right. He is a month-to-month tenant, and he would have to leave. You chose not to do that. You chose, after this happened in July, according to you, I'm speaking,
lease.
Put on your listening ears, you chose, according to you, to accept rent in August, according to you, of $770. And if the conduct so grossed you out, all you had to do in July was say, I want you out. You chose not to do that. So I disbelieve how grossed out you are by any of his conduct. You cannot do what you did, and especially make allegations of a sexual nature with regard to someone who is a custodial parent. Very bad. And I also gather from your answer, because he's got a complaint, that you called his son's school. The very day he moved out, you called his son. I'm speaking. You called his son's school to say that he was no longer living at that address. What was the reason for that?
The document states that I have to do that.
Oh, show me. Show me the document that states that you have to call the day after he moves out.
I called 3 days.
Show me. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Glenn, this form that she has indicates that she has to advise the school within 3 days if you've changed your residence.
Okay, that's not all she told the principal.
Well, I don't know what she told the principal unless you have the principal here.
No, he wouldn't come.
Well, your allegation is that vindictively, and I guarantee you vindictively she made this call, but she is required to do it, and therefore I cannot in good conscience rule in your favor with regard to that part of your complaint. I think Ms. Chavez acted wrongly. I think she made an excuse for her behavior after the police told her that she couldn't evict you.
I agree.
She couldn't lock you out, and she said, well, you were a threat to her because you sexually battered her. You may have been guilty of poor judgment or poor taste in your storytelling, Mr. Glenn, but there is no evidence whatsoever of sexual battery. Is there? Right. Okay. Mr. Glenn, where did you go after you left her house?
Well, I went to Corrine Pardina's house that night. We didn't know where we were going to go until about 7 p.m.
Okay, so you went to somebody's house, you slept there. Where are you living now?
Right now, we're living next door to my wife in Altaloma. We're on the way back again, and it's great. I mean, everything's coming together.
Well, that's fine. So it worked out reasonably well, but I believe that you have to be compensated, not just because she refused to allow you in, because ultimately what you said was, I'm afraid to leave my son here because she's acting like a nut.
Hey.
So I'm going to take my son and go elsewhere because I can't leave him here, and she acted improperly.
Whether it was
I
a
believe,
motel
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
I believe the fact that she told the police this baloney story about sexual battery is worthy of compensation. And it's worthy of compensation because of who you are, because of the fact that you are a custodial parent. And I don't think that she has the right to use that as an excuse for her illegal behavior. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I told you there's something wrong with the will.
Yeah, this is case number 169 on the calendar in the matter of Greenlee versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Greenlee, there was a time last year when you and Mr. Smith were employed by the same bus company, a school bus company. And it is your claim that while you were out doing your route, Mr. Smith backed a school bus into your parked car and then took off, damaging your car. You want him to pay for the damage to the car and other related expenses. Mr. Smith says he never touched your car. And he is counterclaiming because he says because you filed these charges against him, he was humiliated at work, he was arrested on the job, and he was ultimately acquitted of those charges. Did you have a trial?
No. The police officer dropped everything.
Okay. And told you to proceed civilly, I assume. So he's got a counterclaim. When did this incident happen with your car?
January 12th of 2004.
And at what time did you leave that day on your bus?
6:30 a.m.
When did you return to the yard?
Approximately 8:15 a.m.
When did you look at your car?
As soon as I got back to the garage.
And what did you discover?
I discovered a dent, and there was rub marks from where my paint had been rubbed off. A part of
Do you have photographs of it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the photographs.
And I also have a videotape of the bus actually hitting the vehicle. There's the videotape.
So your car is red?
No, my car is orange.
Orange?
Yes.
Okay. Orange.
Orange.
I assume before you looked at the video, you conducted your own investigation. According to what I read here, a little bit of an investigation on your own. You went around looking at all the buses.
Yes.
And didn't find any of them with any damage.
No.
So what did you do next?
We went on our afternoon routes. David's the only bus that did not come back to the garage that morning. So when we both drove at the same elementary school. He was off of his bus, and I went and I seen the orange paint and the rub mark on the back of the bus. My husband was actually up at the transportation director's office speaking with him, told him the damages I found.
Okay. Don't tell me what your husband said. That's hearsay. But you saw orange paint on Mr. Smith's bus.
Yes.
Did you speak to him?
No.
All right, Mr. Smith. Now tell me your version of what happened that morning.
I got in my bus around 6:40. I backed my bus up. I had another bus that was to the left of me that I couldn't clear, so I had to get off my bus because my two-way radio did not work on my bus. Got off my bus, went and asked the other driver if she could back up so I could go around. I did my route.
So it's your claim that at no time did you hit Miss Greenlee's car?
No, ma'am.
Now, you were subsequently arrested?
The police come to my work to arrest me for hit and run, but my boss asked them before they arrested me to go and watch the videotape at the transportation office. So my two bosses, the transportation director, the police officer, and myself, all went down. We watched the videotape. The police officer watched the tape twice. He come out, told me he was not going to arrest me.
Just a second, did you watch the tape with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what do you mean he came out and told you? What is that?
He watched it twice. The first time we watched it together.
Yes.
Second time he watched it with the transportation director. And he come out and said he was not going to arrest me, he was not going to write me a citation, that he would let the insurance companies deal with it.
Okay, can I see the videotape, please?
As you can see, David's entering the bus. Starts backing up. He's having trouble maneuvering the bus back. Stops, he pulls up. As you can see, my vehicle to the left. He keeps
That's your
backing.
car? Is that
yes.
your car?
Yes. He keeps backing.
But there was no
There
contact
is
made.
point of impact. Pulls the emergency brake. Apparently gets off of the bus for 14 seconds to see what he has hit.
Well, there's certainly a shadow back there now that I see.
Yes. Gets back on the bus and proceeds to take off.
Okay, if I hit the vehicle, why do I sit there for 30 seconds before I pull off?
What are you asking me a question for, Mr. Smith? That wasn't a bus back there. That was a car.
Yes.
What you told me a moment ago, Mr. Smith, was that there was a bus behind you. There was a bus that prohibited you from making a turn. You got off and you spoke to the bus driver and asked her to move. I saw no other bus back
The
there,
bus
sir.
was to my left.
I saw a car that you came dangerously close to if you didn't hit it.
Yes, ma'am. What I'm saying is I couldn't make my clearance. That's when I got off my bus to go ask the lady if she could back up so I could go and make my clearance to the left.
Not a big deal, Mr. Smith. You just should have accepted responsibility and said, it was a total accident. I didn't mean to hit your car. I will certainly pay for the damage. And be finished with it instead
I
of
didn't
making...
hit her.
You did! You hit her car.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Unfortunately, we have electronics to establish it.
If you look at the tape like the police officer did, you will see I did not hit her car.
You think his eyes are better than mine?
No, you just have to pay close attention to the tape.
Sir, You have something from the police officer that says that you didn't hit her car?
No, ma'am.
You have a statement from the police officer, even though it's hearsay, which says, listen, tell your insurance companies to take care of it. This isn't worth my arresting you for hit and run. Nobody was injured. You're two reasonable people, working people. Let your insurance companies take care of it. That's what the police officer said. He didn't say that you didn't hit her car. Okay, can I see your estimates on having your car fixed, please? Did you have your car fixed?
Yes, I did.
Good. You're not working for the same bus company anymore?
No, ma'am.
Right, good. What year car was this?
2003. I'd purchased it 6 months prior to it being hit.
Did you receive insurance coverage for it?
Yes. My insurance company paid for it because approximately 14 days after the accident, the bus company's insurance said they could not find who was at fault because they never requested the tape.
Well, what was your deductible?
$450. And then I also had to get a rental car, and that total was $138.57. And I have my
Why
credit
are you
card.
suing him for $5,000?
I'm suing for the deductible, the rental car, the actual damages to pay back the insurance company because my rates are going up because of the accident, and also $2,801.94 in punitive damages for the stress, the mental anguish that I went through over a year and a half of dealing with this incident.
Unfortunately, you don't get paid for that. So your deductible was $450?
Yes.
And you rented a car for $138?
Yes.
It's $588. Could have resolved the whole thing.
I don't owe her a dime.
You do too.
I do
You
not.
hit a car.
I did not
And
hit
you
her car.
And it may, Mr. Smith, be giving you the benefit of the doubt because this didn't look to me as if this was this kind of crash. It looked as if the bus was going very slowly and maybe you just eased into it with the bumper.
But if you could see the damage, even if I eased into it, it's not going to cause that much damage.
You have an expert that's going to testify to that, sir?
I can get one.
What did you think you were coming here for? A tea party today? This is it. You've been hucking around with this lady for well over a year.
No,
Pay her the $588. That's what you owe her. You were wrong. Say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I know that that's sometimes hard, but that's what men do. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I should have resolved it then. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You just don't want to admit and be a man and say I did it and I'm sorry. That's all I wanted from him.
She's a deceitful person and I want nothing to do with her.
I've never spoke to him a day after the accident happened.
We used to be good friends and we had us falling out.
I'm finally glad that justice did come out finally.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lucy versus Todd. Step forward.
18-year-old Christine Lucy is suing the father of her daughter, 19-year-old Fred Todd, for damage to her car. Christine says a drunken Fred kicked her door.
Miss Lucy, this young man used to be your boyfriend?
Yes.
And you have a child together with him?
Mm-hmm.
And you claim that he has a bad temper. And because of his bad temper, he kicked or slammed your car door on 2 separate occasions, causing some damage.
Yes.
Mr. Todd says that your car is old, that you both lost your temper and slammed the car door. Yours on your side, his on his side, and he's not responsible for any damage. How old is this baby that you have together?
She is a year old.
Did you ever live with Mr. Todd?
Yeah. When I found out that I was pregnant, we moved in together, and from then it's been kind of a rocky relationship. I've moved out and moved back in a few times.
When you move out, you move back home with your parents?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Where are you living now?
With my parents.
Stay there.
I am.
I mean, it's not for you. You're 18, you're still a baby yourself, but you made a baby, you have a responsibility to give that baby a certain amount of stability, and you don't need any more boyfriends for a while, and you just have to concentrate on your child.
And that's why I decided in June of this year that I wanted her to have a stable home where her family wasn't fighting all the time.
Right, because an 18-year-old, how old are you?
19.
Another genius. An 18-year-old and a 19-year-old or a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, when they make a baby, it's a very dumb thing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, when was the first damage he allegedly did to the car?
In July of this year, he was too drunk to drive, and his mom needed a ride to work. And I went to go pick him up and take him over to get his mom and take her to work. And on the way there...
You mean, just a minute, his mother called and said he's too drunk to drive?
No, he called me and said that his mom needed a ride to work and he was too drunk.
What time of the day was this?
It was about 10 o'clock at night.
Does that ring a familiar chord, sir?
No, Your Honor.
For one thing, I wasn't drunk. I hadn't been drinking.
Your Honor, that's...
Shh, just a second.
I
Mr.
didn't
Todd.
have a car at the time.
Mr. Todd,
actually.
did you say to her, I've been drinking? Let's say you didn't use the word drunk. I've been drinking. My mom needs a ride to work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
Listen to me. I have in my brain a truth machine. I'm not here to hurt you, Mr. Todd. I'm only going to hurt you if you don't tell me the truth.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What's my business is that she's taking my daughter around those people.
That's not your business unless there's something wrong with these people.
Well,
You're not her morals monitor.
You know,
just like she's not your morals monitor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christine Lucy says the father of her child, Fred Todd, kicked her door during a drunken argument.
What kind of work were you doing in July?
I'm a dock worker, as a matter of fact.
Were you making good money?
Well, at one job I was making $15.50 an hour, and at the other job I was making $13 an hour.
How many hours a week?
About in between 30 and 40 hours, and the other ones it was sometimes from 20 all the way up to 40 hours.
So you're working at least 50 hours a week?
Yeah,
How much were you giving her?
I'd say in between 50 and 60.
Shh. So, of the $1,250 that you were making, you were giving her between $50 and $60 a week for the baby.
Yeah.
What were you doing with the rest of your money?
I had to buy a car. I owe money for things. I have a lot of bills. I live on my own. Just, I mean, all
Were you
kinds
living
of
on your
numerous
own in
things.
July?
Oh, yeah. I've been living on my own since I was 17. So.
Now, so tell me about this. Now we're going to get back to the car.
The first incident when I went to go take his mother to work, on the way there, we got into a fight over his drinking and him not giving me any money for our daughter. And he got upset, and when we got there, he opened the door and he kicked it to keep it open. And when he did that, I guess it shifted my car door because the door was flush with the front panel.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a 97 Grand Am.
All right, when was the next incident involving the car?
The next incident was early the next week. He wanted to talk about some things, so I told him that he could come with me on my errands and talk to me on the way because I was very busy that day. And so we didn't talk a whole lot while I was doing my errands. It was on the way back. He tried to convince me to get back with him and try to start a relationship again. I told him that I didn't want to. I wanted to stay at my parents' house, try to build my own life, and he got very upset about that and lost his temper and started yelling at me. And then when we got to his mom's house so I could pick up our daughter, he did the exact same thing again. He opened the car door and kicked it. But
You mean kicked it open?
Yeah.
Kicked it open, didn't kick it closed, kicked it open.
He kicked it open. It was actually the hinges in the door frame were so far bent that you couldn't open or close my door.
Can I see the estimate?
Sure.
Good.
The pictures are here
Good.
as well.
Okay, Mr. Todd, now I'm going to hear you.
Well, we went out to get it inspected, and she, as soon as we broke up, she immediately started dating again, immediately trying to replace me, immediately trying to get a, I don't know if she was trying to get another father for my daughter or what she was trying to do. So it made me angry because I'm my daughter's father, and she's not going to replace me. I'm not going to let her. And
Well, what do you mean replace you? I don't understand you mean replace you.
I don't want to bring in a whole bunch of guys, into my daughter's life, in and out of my daughter's life, because that's not, I don't feel that's a good situation for her, to grow up in with guys in and out, over life all the time.
What makes you think, sir, that the plaintiff is going to bring a whole bunch of guys in and out of your daughter's life?
Because within the first 4 months of us being broken up, she's already had 3 or 4 in and out of her life already.
Just to say, 3 or 4 what in and out of it? She
3 or
lived with
4 guys.
How, you mean that she's dated?
Yeah, but she's taken my daughter around and brought them around my daughter.
So? I mean, if you're telling me that she's lived in the 4 months that you've been separated, she moved in with one guy, and then she moved out, and then she moved in with another guy, and she moved out, and she moved in with another guy, and she moved out. I would say to her, you're doing the wrong thing, and I would say to you, if you don't like her conduct, and if you think her conduct is damaging to the child, and that would be damaging, go to court and seek custody of the child.
And we're in the process of that.
Just a second. specific, but if what you're telling me is she's dated 4 people since the 2 of you split up, that's none of your business.
No, you're right. You're right. It is none of my business. But what's my business is that she's taking my daughter around those people, and I don't want my daughter
What do you mean around those
people.
people? I don't know what you mean. You mean when she goes out with them, she'll spend a Sunday afternoon with them in the park?
She'll bring them back to her mom and dad's house. She's
What?
had them
So that's not your business.
But they're around my daughter.
That's not your business.
May I ask why?
That is not. It's not your business unless there's something wrong with these people.
Well,
You're not her morals monitor.
You know,
Just like she's not your morals monitor. Get to kicking the car.
So, that was what the argument was about. So we was arguing about that, and we come pulling up.
About which you were wrong.
Okay, about which I was wrong.
Absolutely,
And,
because you're not going to like it 2 years from now when you have a new girlfriend who moves in with you, because I have a feeling you like to have somebody live with you. And she says, I don't want my daughter over there sleeping over. He sleeps with this woman and they sleep in the same bed, and I don't want that. I'm going to tell you the same thing. That's none of your business. When a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old are dumb enough to make a baby, you got to make concessions for the next 20 years. Think about having another one. Got it? I would have 3 jobs if I were you, so that you kept busy. Why did you kick her door?
I didn't kick her door. Actually, we was pulling up to my mother's house. The second time isn't when I don't think that it could have got damaged. The second time, we both got out of the car when we was arguing and slammed the door.
Just a minute, but her door opens.
But what I'm saying is, I think it was the first incident. If I can explain that to you, I think that's what damaged the door to make it do that the second time. When I
So you mean you just started it the first time, but the second time it was real? You pushed it over?
I didn't kick her door, is what I'm saying.
Just listen to me. You were the passenger.
Yeah.
Door doesn't close.
Okay.
She could slam her door.
Okay, but
her door closes and opens.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yeah.
Got it. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,000.
ਕਿਹੜੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਆਏ
दो आए हुए हैं वो मैं मीरम को कॉल करने लगा हूँ तो पैकेज ऑफ है
वो आ जाते बच्चे कितों आए आ गए